Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports. Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 11:40 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Yeah, how about that? We had a scorigami last night. It's the first time in the history of the NFL that a game ended with a 32-19 score. Scorigami.
You love those scorigamis, dude.
It's just weird.
It is weird. Out of all the years the NFL has been around, for it to never have happened, that is pretty sweet.
Yeah. And the 49ers get one they needed, right? After all of the drama and the doubts of the offseason, just to come out and lay the wood to somebody last night. I think the 49ers needed that. Fan base needed it. Team needed it. And I think Aaron Rodgers deserved it.
Hey, I tell you what, the Niners look good. You know, they look so good. I almost felt like calling in sick today. I'm getting texts from you last night. What did you call it? The Kyle
Casino de Kyle?
Casino de Kyle. I had a rough night. Everything I predicted would happen did not happen. Like, it wasn't a close game. Aaron Rodgers, to Jay's point, looked like a statue out there. He did not look mobile at all. It didn't look like he could move. And then J.P. Mason, looked like Earl Campbell out there or something. You know, Eric Dickerson out there the way he was running. And so it was a great night for Niners and Niners fans. And I don't have much to say. I don't know what I'm going to talk about for 4 hours.
You're going to talk about Jay Crowder probably, huh?
My guy. We need to get Jay Crowder on. That is my guy. Like, if we get Jay Crowder, I will be the happiest man in Sacramento. That is my guy.
Yeah. What, you know anything more about that than what's one of these guys working out with the team?
No, I haven't looked into it, believe it or not. You know, I've been ripping and running today.
Sure.
But, you know, I may shoot him a text or something like that. Be like, hey, what's the deal? What's happening? You know, here's the thing about Jay Crowder, and I know we'll talk about it throughout the afternoon. Last season, he was in town with his team, and we were sitting on the bench. And I said, what do you think about Sacramento? He's like, y'all got a good young squad. Y'all got a nice little young squad, but y'all need some dogs. You guys are missing something. I was like, I know, Jay. If we had somebody like you, you know, and he said, yeah, exactly. And so this would be huge. And I'm not talking from a points, rebounds, and assist standpoint. I'm talking about from a culture standpoint, a veteran standpoint. He's a guy that could impact the locker room in a positive way.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about
dogs.
this. Exactly. We need dogs right now.
Yeah. Maybe not dogs, but at least a dog.
A dog. Exactly. And here's the thing. I think Jay Crowder at this stage of his career, no, he's not walking in to be a starter or anything like that. I think he's here to be a piece, to help young guys, and to set a culture. And this is a guy that played in big games. I'm all for Jay Crowder to Sacramento.
Jay, you see what we did there? You know, Drapes comes in. He knows 49ers won. So he's kind of like this. So I start talking about Jay Crowder. He's like, yeah. So bring him out a little bit.
Yeah, all of a sudden, Kings News is the lead here.
No, it should be. We're the king, home of the Kings, baby.
Home of the Niners, too.
Yeah, but it's one game for the Niners.
49ers had a lot of dog in them last night, too. They did, on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I think the Niners looked better than I expected. Sure, Ayuk had a drop here or there. You know, there was some miscues.
Peyton Manning went after him.
Right, Peyton went after him. We're going to talk about that. But I thought, for the most part, what the Niners showed last night was there are different levels to this. The Jets might be a good team, but the Niners are Super Bowl contenders. There's a difference here. And through all the drama, through all the angst of the offseason, I thought it was as close to a perfect game. Outside of the one Jets drive, defensively, I thought the Niners got after it. They were phenomenal. But outside of that drive, I thought the Niners, you know, played a pretty perfect game. Sure, you want to cash in on some of those field goals, turn those into touchdowns, but they owned that game yesterday.
I think it was Garrett Wilson after the game. He was like, man, it's a championship level, and we're not there.
Yeah,
the realization. I think for a lot of the country, that was a realization last night. You
Right.
like the Jets and Aaron Rodgers, that's great, but come on, they're not at that level yet.
Right.
And there was questions about whether the 49ers, especially without CMC, could reach that level. So that was seriously just kind of a sigh of relief for the 49ers and their fans last night.
Yeah.
They needed that.
They needed that. And, I got a Drapes take coming up on last night.
When do you want to do that?
It's one of those takes where it could play right now. It could play at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Let's save it.
All right.
Because it's not it's something that Niners fans, I think, might want to stick around for. And I'm not going to be the hater that I always am. Usually I like to be the hater. But watching the Niners, yeah, they showed me something last night. They showed me something.
You going to walk back your Chiefs prediction?
No,
from your last Drapes take? Wow.
I thought about that too, Whitey, as I was driving in. I was like, all right, I got this Drapes take. I can't go that far, though, and walk back the Chiefs, because I can't just react after one game. Oh, now all of a sudden the Niners are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm still picking the Chiefs, but the Niners showed me something last night.
Bottom line for the Niners last night, and this is what it gets down to, as complicated, as exotic as their offense is, they ran the ball and they stopped the run. They had to stop the run. They had to run the ball. We didn't know they could. I think a lot of people that have watched the Niners for a long time, the last few years, figured Mason's pretty good. He'll be pretty good. But no one knew he was going to go 28 for 148.
Yeah, he was tremendous. And, as I watch the Niners, they're deep at every position. Like they are one of the deepest teams, if not the deepest team out there. And give that offensive line credit. Dominic Puni looked tremendous out there. They created some holes out there for J.P. Mason, and he took advantage of it. I thought, maybe I hadn't been watching. Maybe I wasn't familiar with JP's game, but he hit the holes. He looked phenomenal out there.
Yeah, you mentioned the texts we exchanged last night. I got to be careful because there's 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, and that's when the 49ers came up with the interception, and Aaron Rodgers gave that look to his receiver like, how dare you do that? And then on the next, they ran the ball for 2 yards. Next play, Juszczyk's wide open in the flat, and Purdy overthrows him.
Yeah.
Play after that, third down on a square in, Kittle's open, and Purdy bounces it. They picked up a first down anyway on an illegal hands to the face, whatever. So when we're texting, I said, boy, Brock he's thrown the ball, not thrown the ball that great. Jay jumped on me.
He did.
What are you talking about?
Right. Don't talk about his quarterback like that. Yeah, Jay was on top of you when it came to that.
He's like, Ayuk has pan hands. He threw a dime and Ayuk has pan hands. So I'm sorry, Jay. I didn't mean to offend you.
So
no, you're good.
No, Jay was I got the text right here. He's dropped a few dimes. Ayuk pan hands. The first one, though, Sauce Gardner made a tremendous play, right? He made a great defensive play. The end zone one, Ayuk dropped. I will say this, though, about Brock Purdy. He wasn't perfect, Jay. Let's not act like the dude was A+++. I'll probably give Brock Purdy a B grade after last night. He was very good. And, we exchanged some texts and some tweets. He's in control of this offense right now. I was impressed by Brock Purdy last night.
Yeah, Brock Purdy, an extension of Shanahan last night. Shanahan's game calling, play calling. I mean, masterful. I don't even think TC could go after Shanahan today.
Nah, he could, for lying about the injury to CMC.
Lying? He never told him.
No, JP said Friday he knew he was starting.
Yeah, because I never told him that.
He's going to cost Jed York and them some money.
Sure.
Lighten their wallet a little bit.
TC could always go after him for this or that. But, I mean, as far as the game he coached last night, I don't think you could go after Kyle last night. And you look at the time of possession battles. Like, the 49ers are masters at getting the ball at the end of the first half, going on a long drive. They get the kickoff. Teams go a long time.
Yeah.
Throw the halftime in there. Opposing teams quite often go a long time without even touching the ball.
Yeah, and I was, as I'm watching that game, the Jets had the ball with about 5 minutes and something left in that second quarter. And I don't know if you're the same way. I'm thinking they better score here or they better eat some clock up. Because if the Niners get the ball, march down and score, and get the ball in the third quarter, this game could be over very quickly. And it's crazy how that always sets up for the Niners. But it's a smart play, and that's what happened yesterday. I thought, the Jets got a late touchdown. Yeah, they got the touchdown, in the first half. But for the most part, that Niners defense was flying around. and really limited Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers still throws a tremendous ball. Let's not get it twisted. The zip he throws on his ball is phenomenal, but he's a statue back there. And like you said yesterday, if you get the pass rush and the ability to stop the run, this Jets team, they don't have a Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson that when the play breaks down or where option A, B, and C is there, they don't have a quarterback that can make a play on his own.
I thought the officials let the Jets offensive line get away.
No, come on, Whitey. Come on.
I did. It didn't matter, but it's pretty clear, we don't want Aaron Rodgers getting hurt the first game again. Now, you watch the highlights. Oh, it's Aaron Rodgers with a completion. Let's see it again. Then in the back, you can see Tyron Smith has
that was one play. That was one play.
Headlock.
That was one play. I
saw it at least twice last night.
Did you?
And I wasn't looking for it. It's like, oh my goodness, that's illegal in 5 states. What he's doing to him right there.
Yeah, it was. He had him wrapped around. But somebody said it was like he got the Rudy Gobert treatment out there. Bosa did, and so no, you're right. And oh shoot, I'm looking at our YouTube chat, Sactown Sports 1140. And I just see in our headline, and I totally forgot this, and I know Jay's put it in. We got Mike Woodson coming up.
We
too.
do.
Oh, that's my guy, Woody. That is my guy. I can't wait to get. So I'm excited about that. Sorry,
changing the subject there.
No, I just had
a lot of that today. It's all right. It's okay,
dude. I just happened to be looking at the YouTube chat, seeing our people out there. Brian Carticelli and Brandon Dietzman, appreciate you. But, man, we got a loaded show today. This is fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
We're also going to talk to Adrien Ross from Elk Grove, the Mad Backer, longtime NFL linebacker, get his thoughts on how the 49ers got it done last night, how Aaron Rodgers looked to him. What'd you think of Aaron Rodgers last night? I thought he looked, all things considered, like, that's pretty good.
First game in a year.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to win a Super Bowl or anything like that, but that's pretty good.
But you can tell the arm strength is still there. It's just the lack of mobility last night that I noticed. But in terms of like that one drive, in the first half where he surgically picked apart the Niners defense, I thought, oh, man, this dude still has it. But it's almost like he has to have perfect protection. Any kind of pressure, anything like he's just not mobile right now. But I'd probably give him a B- as a grade.
So Brock with a better grade from you on the Draper scale than Aaron Rodgers last night.
I was shocked that Rodgers only attempted, 21 passes, something like that?
Didn't have the ball.
Didn't have the ball. They couldn't run. They couldn't pass. It was crazy last night.
The big story, what did Jordan Mason know and when did he know it? That's next on Sactown Sports. Drive, guys!
It's not hard to be a mom. It's hard to be a good mom. It's easy to be a bad mom. That's so easy. But to be a good mom is hard. To be a bad mom, that's as easy as being a great dad. That's...
Nikki Glazer, Alive and Unwell Tour. Friday, September 20th. The venue at Thunder Valley. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. She's alive and unwell. Don't miss Nikki Glazer.
Thank you. Good night.
Silverado savings spectacular now at Maida Chevy with $13,000 off MSRP. Every new Silverado half-ton LTZ in stock after rebates. $12,500 off every Silverado half-ton High Country after rebate. And $11,000 off all new Silverado half-ton RSTs exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Whatever Silverado you choose, you'll save thousands at Maida Chevy. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing and lease and some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer. Ends 9/30/24.
As a mom, I'd do anything to keep my child out of physical pain.
Dr. Pamela Maida is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon.
As a doctor, I know that growth spurts can cause pain in my child's feet, and that can affect their legs and back too.
Good Feet Youth Arch Supports are designed to alleviate, even eliminate common pain.
Investing in youth arch supports for your child or teen is one of the best decisions you can make.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Hey, do you remember yesterday we were talking about Deshaun Watson, and I said, he's almost playing like he knows something else is coming. And you hear the news today?
Yeah, I saw that.
Horrible stuff.
Yeah. That dude, how many chances is he going to get? Like, is it time for the league to step in and do something? So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him going forward.
Speaking of the league, Pro Football Talk says they asked the NFL, hey, are you going to do anything about the fact that it looks like maybe Jordan Mason knew and the 49ers knew that McCaffrey wasn't playing on Friday, and they didn't tell anybody until Monday. And according to Pro Football Talk, the NFL said, no, we have no plans to look into that. We're not investigating anything. I guess technically they followed the rules. They listed the player, McCaffrey, as questionable. And then at game time, they said, he's not playing.
He's not playing.
Sure seems like there's a little more something to it, huh?
Yeah, there was. Shanahan got caught with his cookie in the hand in the cookie jar. And poor J.P. Mason, man, he got caught up in a controversy he didn't know was coming.
Yeah, here's J.P. Mason last night.
That you're going to be starting? When I find out, maybe Friday night, something like that. I was always prepared. I mean, we went to training camp.
Yeah, but you can tell he wasn't quite sure, right? When did I find out? Maybe Friday night.
Yeah. So he spilled the beans. He didn't just make that up,
when
right?
Shopping for a new car.
Right. Yeah. Right. Go to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, right? He didn't just make that up. Like, clearly he was told, right?
He sounded like he wasn't sure. Clearly he was told. But here's Kyle Shanahan. When Kyle Shanahan was asked post-game, hey, did you tell J.P. Mason that he was going to be starting? Did you tell him that on Friday?
When did Christian start feeling awry?
I never told Jordan he was going to start. Told him he had to be ready a bunch, but that might have been Bobby or somebody trying to pump him up. But I knew he was going to have to play a lot. I told him that he was going to have to, it wasn't going to be like usual. It was going to be a number 2 back that was splitting a lot of the time. But now he didn't know he for sure was doing that till today.
Okay. All right. We'll blame it on some position coach or something like that.
Bobby
Smart.
Turner. Yeah. Maybe Bobby told him to fire him up. I sure didn't tell him.
Jay, do you have the clip of JP meeting with reporters also? Because here's the thing. JP Mason had a hell of a game.
Yeah, he did.
A career game. And I feel bad for the kid.
Me too.
Because you saw the post-game clip too. He was emotional. The talk should have been about his performance. That should have been the headline coming out of his press conference. Should have been about, him gashing that Jets defense. Instead, the young fella got to answer questions about, is this coach lying or, did he break the – he didn't know. And so you could tell listening to his post-game press conference how shook up he was to even be addressing that. And what's interesting about that too, Whitey, he answers the question on the field in the post-game press conference, goes into the locker room, talks to the team, and Shanahan addresses the squad. And then by the time he comes out, he realizes, whether his phone blew up, somebody told him, whatever it may be, that maybe he made a mistake. And so this guy is supposed to be on top of the world, and yet he has to deal with this. And I'm not blaming the media. It's not the media's fault.
I blame the team.
I blame the team.
The team
exactly.
Put him in that position. Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel bad. Here's what he had to say in his post-game press conference, and you'll see what I mean.
When did you find out that you'd be in the starting lineup?
That question right there is why I'm at. That's why I don't like really talking to media, because you say one thing wrong, and then, I don't know. Just skip that question.
Damn.
And that's Matt Mayoko asking the question.
Yeah.
And that's a great question. I mean,
fair question, right?
Yes. Yeah. The team needed to handle that better and protect him better. However, they could have done that.
I agree. And, it's, I hate that, he feels like anytime I talk to the media, and I say something wrong, this is what happens. But like you said, it wasn't the media's fault. The team. It's the team's fault. First of all, they got to either let them know, hey, man, if we did tell you Friday, That's between us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe they did. And maybe it sounds like maybe I wasn't supposed to say that. I don't know. But still, then you gotta defend him. Ultimately, though, it doesn't matter. The big question, though, is what is the status of CMC? A lot of people now seem to be assuming that, oh, he could have played, maybe, but they held him out.
Right.
He'll be back maybe this week or maybe in a couple weeks. And he might be, but I don't think we really know. To me, this cover up, whatever it is, suggests that he's hurt worse than you would think. And we just don't know yet.
Right. Because it's like he hasn't been doing much. How do you re-aggregate? You know what I mean? Like this is clearly, it's worse than they initially let on as well.
Shanahan said, oh, he didn't have a setback. Okay, then that means he hasn't been healthy enough to play for a long time.
Right.
What's going on? Why not?
And it wasn't it the report that either CMC or the team said, well, if this was a playoff game, he'd be able to go. And this is like the first week it happened. You know, the injury first came up. And so somebody's lying. You know, real quick, back to the JP Mason situation. What Kyle Shanahan should have done, instead of worried about getting the fine and everything like that, is take one for his young player. Don't put JP Mason in that position. So, you know, hey, Kyle, JP said he got the word Friday. Well, if he did, maybe it came from I didn't tell him. It wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Can he? I mean,
dude, it doesn't.
Your team gets fined.
Whoop-de-freaking do. They're a billionaire owner.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the teams get fined all the time? That's what I'm saying. It sort of put JP in such a awkward spot.
I agree.
A bad spot.
I agree.
You know, this kid is supposed to be celebrating, you know, a career night, and he's emotional. We just heard it. I just, like you said, the team put him in a bad position, and I thought Kyle put him in a bad position.
Yeah, but he played pretty well last night, and he brought a level of physicality that I think the 49ers needed last night.
Especially without CMC. Yeah, 100%. And, you know, the thing about JP, watching him last night, he's a more than capable backup. Like, we talked about Elijah Mitchell being out in the injury. They're not going to miss him at all. Like, JP Mason is the real deal.
As long as he can stand up to the workload.
Right, the workload. And when CMC comes back, I'm 100% comfortable with JP being his backup, you know, spelling him here or there. This kid showed us something. And so I give him all the credit. Now, going forward, because this is something we talked about yesterday before the game, the Jets' run defense was bottom third of the league last year. They still look like they're bottom third.
Yeah.
I didn't see any improvement. How much of that are you saying it's the Jets' run defense, or how much are you impressed with that Niners offensive line yesterday?
The blocking was outstanding.
Yeah.
You know, and they pared down the playbook. According to George Kittle, there's stuff we do with CMC we didn't do.
Yeah.
We ran basic zone runs, and they just dominated. And I think that also speaks to why it was so important to keep Ayuk around. And, you know, the 49ers did everything they could to keep him around. Even though they came so close to trading him, ultimately they wanted to keep him. And a big reason for that is because he's such a good blocker.
Yes,
They're all good blockers.
Right. And that's
you have
key.
to play for Kyle Shanahan.
He's a good blocker. And the thing about it is, you know, with Ayuk out there blocking, Kittle out there blocking, you know, Juszczyk, whoever it is, you know, those 2 or 3 yard runs turn into 6 or 7 yard runs. And that can add up. And watching that game last night, I thought the Jets, from a defensive standpoint, they reached a point where they didn't know what the hell to do against this offense.
No one covered Juszczyk all night.
I'm like, if Juszczyk is gashing you, like that's what it came, you know, I came away thinking, man, this Niners team, and I'm going to take back something I said yesterday. You know, I was just looking at one wide receiver, one quarterback, one running back, and giving the edge to the Jets. The Niners are deep, man.
Mm-hmm.
If Juszczyk and Kittle and Jawan Jennings got into the mix.
Jawan Jennings had a nice game.
Yeah, like they are, you know, they're super deep, man, super talented. I'm giving them all the credit today.
They go march into Minnesota, take care of the Vikings this Sunday.
Perhaps. I think Sam Darnold got something to say
That's
about
right.
that.
He knows him well.
Yeah. But before we move on, Whitey, Jay, now if I walked in ripping the Niners, you guys would call me out. You would say Drape's being a hater. I just spent 23 minutes singing all the praises of the Niners.
How could
can
you
I get a pat
today?
on? No, but can I get a pat on the back for that?
What?
Being objective and being honest and seeing, you know what? Not looking at it with green colored glasses. Not taking that route. I mean, I'm giving Niners love. I just want some love back. That's all I'm saying.
I think they earned that last night. I don't think you deserve any
Damn,
extra
I can't even get
for pointing out that they demolished the Jets.
Oh man! All right, okay.
I'll say this: you've seen the error of your ways, and so with that being said,
that's all I get, Jay.
I gotta salute you for coming in here, and I will. For me, it was a great game. I thought they played well. I don't think they played great. I'd give them a B. I'd give them a B. There were a few things that they missed. Like you said, Purdy missed a little high. Week 1. It happens all throughout the NFL. Right. You saw it. But I will give you some love, Drapes, in the fact that you came in here and was like, you know what? This week 1, and Jordan Mason ain't doing that 5 times, and wait till he plays, the Bills. So I'll give you some love.
That's all I'm asking for, Jay.
I got you for that.
It's like I'm sure people expect that.
You see the error of your ways, man.
I'm giving them some love, man. They look like a juggernaut last night. They look really good last night.
And when I texted you about Casino de Kyle, I wasn't ripping you. You had a number of props yesterday.
I was wrong on all of them.
Well,
right?
you just threw them out. I don't know that you even said which way you were going. You said carries 12, and I took the over. I don't know what you did.
I took the over also. Okay. No, I took the under on that one.
Yards, you had 63. I think I took the over, and receptions was like 2.5, and I took the under.
Yeah,
but those were just, as I recall, those were numbers you threw out.
I wasn't close to any of them.
Really?
Like, no,
you hit at least one of those.
Did I? I don't think so. JP Mason, I wasn't taking the over on any of those. Like in my mind, I'm like, no. But then I forgot, and the 30 rushing attempts, like that's their staple, right? They use Debo, out of the backfield a lot, but 28 carries for JP Mason.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody expected that kind of workload for him filling in for CMC. I was surprised by that.
On a lot of those runs, he's getting 4 or 5 yards seemingly before he was touched.
Easily. I thought that offensive line did a phenomenal job.
As bad as they are at protecting quarterback, they're just as good when it comes to run blocking.
Yeah. Do you think they had an issue protection-wise last night?
I
thought they did a good
job
job
too.
too.
When Brock had to get it out there in a hurry, but overall, and the Jets really miss Reddick.
My gosh, they better pay that man. He would change. Not saying he would have made a huge difference, but you throw him with Williams out there in the defensive line. Now you got something. Now you got guys that can actually get after it. Yeah, he was missing last night big time.
How is it that the Shanahans always come up with these running backs? They come out of nowhere, and they're exceptional. We have the answer. We'll sing the praises of the 49ers unsung hero of the running game. When we come right back to Sactown Sports with the Drive Guys.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Hard Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Harmony.
You want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich. Dasha. And more. Saturday, September 28th at Hard Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
When shopping for a new car, what do you want? A great selection? A low monthly payment? More for your trade? At Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, you get it all.
Model year-end savings are going on now. It's savings you just can't say no to.
Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report.
What would it take for a plumbing company to earn your trust? Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And let's face it, plumbing and service companies don't always have the best reputation.
So to earn your trust, the first thing they'd have to do is actually answer the phone when you call with a real live person. Then they'd have to send a plumber when you needed them, day or night, without charging extra for emergency services.
A trustworthy plumber would show up on time, wearing a clean uniform and name badge, and be able to show that they had passed a background check and drug test.
A plumber you could trust would give you a firm quote on the job before starting and clean up after they finish the job.
That's exactly the plumber you'll get when you call Bell Brothers, a plumber you can trust. Call Bell Brothers right now for all your plumbing needs. Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
The word "for" has been used in golf for centuries, and its origins can be traced to the Middle Ages. According to historians, the word "for" is derived from the Old English word meaning before or in front of. In those days, the term was used to warn people of incoming arrows during archery practice. Another theory suggests that "for" has military connections. During the 19th century, artillery officers would yell "for" to warn their troops of incoming shells. This practice may have carried over to golf. The most popular theory, however, is that "for" has Scottish roots. In Scotland, "for-caddy" was used to describe a person who walked ahead of the golfers to spot where their ball landed. The "for-caddy" would then yell "for" to warn the golfers if their ball was heading towards another golfer or a spectator. Today, "for" is used to warn golfers or spectators of an errant shot. Whether it's derived from the Middle Ages, military practice, or Scottish roots, "for" has become an integral part of the game of golf, and now you know why. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Side of cutback run. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Jordan Mason with a 5-yard touchdown run. By the way, just saw this note on ESPN. Let's see here. For the Rams, they've got 4 offensive linemen and Puka Nacua dealing with injuries. Puka's going to be out multiple weeks. So is Noteboom, their left tackle, Avila, their left guard. So what that means is, with the 49ers winning last night and the Rams falling apart before our very eyes, the 49ers have clinched the NFC West. It's over, Drapes. It's over. The division race has already ended.
My boy Geno Smith might have something to say about that.
He might.
My guy Geno.
Yeah.
With a big win this past weekend.
Right.
You know, they're 1-0-2. Let's not overlook the Seahawks.
2 safeties. They took 2 safeties, against Denver.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
Here's somebody who needs some credit. We know that the Shanahans, going back to Mike Shanahan's days in Denver, the Shanahans have this knack for finding these running backs. Like, who was that guy? I don't know, but he just ran for 1,000 yards. How do they do that?
Right.
The reason they do it, one of the big reasons, is because they have a 75-year-old coach named Bobby Turner. Kyle mentioned him last night.
Oh, they showed him too. Yeah, on the sideline there. Yeah.
Kyle said, well, maybe Bobby told him he's starting. I don't know. Bobby Turner is one of the big reasons why the 49ers and the Broncos before them keep finding these diamonds in the rough. 15 seasons in Denver, Bobby Turner spent. The Broncos during that time, most rushing yards, most total yards in the NFL over that span. 6 different running backs rushed for at least 1,000 yards in a single season. Terrell Davis 4 times, Tatum Bell, Reuben Drones, Clint Portis twice, Mike Anderson twice, Olandis Gary. Turner also helped Denver become the only franchise since the inception of the common NFL draft to have 2 undrafted rookies reach 500 rushing yards in the first season, Selvin Young 2007 and Mike Bell 2008. This guy is like a savant when it comes to seeing a back and realizing this guy will excel in this system. So, you know, you got Lynch and Shanahan, they go out and let's draft Trey Sermon in the 3rd round. How'd that work out? Didn't work out.
Didn't.
But Bobby Turner can see a guy like JP. Yeah. And say that guy's going to work in this system. Undrafted.
Yeah. And
Bobby Turner is a genius.
Yeah, I'm glad he's getting some love.
Yeah.
And, you know, they showed him on the sidelines yesterday, worked with Kyle's dad in Denver. So, and the fact that, you know, he came up under Kyle's dad shows you how much Kyle trusts in him. And you're right. They got some diamonds in the rough, you know, like JP Mason. He's a stud. Like I'm all in. I'm buying the hype with J.P. Mason. And to your point, and this is something we've talked about on the show a lot, maybe those higher picks aren't, but the diamonds in the rough, the late round picks, the undrafted guys, they do a great job finding those.
One more Bobby Turner note. He is responsible, 27 NFL seasons for him. He's responsible for overseeing 3 of the top 9 rookie rushing seasons in the NFL since 1970. Alfred Morris, remember him?
Yep.
1,613 yards in 2012. Clinton Portis, 1,508 in 2002. And Mike Anderson in 2000, 1,500 rushing yards. It's not a coincidence. And I think the Shanahans, they deserve credit for it. But I think sometimes maybe they get too much credit and Bobby Turner doesn't get enough.
Yeah. And I agree with you on that. And I think he's finally getting his due. Like I said, he hadn't been talked about really, and then last night he gets put in the spotlight and, I'm like, oh, no CMC, they're done.
Well, you weren't the only one saying that.
But they didn't miss a beat, right? They did not miss a beat. And sure, they shrunk the playbook a little bit. But they obviously had faith to hand the ball to this guy 28 times. I thought Debo might get a few more carries, only 8 rushing attempts. I thought, Brock Purdy, it would be on his arm a little bit more, but they stuck to their, rushed the ball 30 times.
Yeah.
They stuck to that last night.
By late third quarter, they'd pretty much shut Brock Purdy down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, we got this game. Just don't give him a chance to get back in the game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Here's the deal. Brock Purdy's going to make $1.1 million this year.
Oh, he's over.
Jordan Mason will make even less than that.
What's he making?
He's making $985,000 this year. He's in his 3rd year?
Yeah, third year.
So he probably earned that last night, didn't he, with 147 and 28 carries.
Here's the thing, too. What's so crazy about this is you got your starting quarterback, and for right now, your starting running back combining for a total of $2 million. Like that's, it's unbelievable. But kudos, like we talked about, to the Niners in recognizing, and not only that, give the guys credit, the players credit too, but not only Niners recognizing the talent, but also getting the most out of these guys, putting these guys in a position to be successul. They're doing a phenomenal job down there, and I got to give Kyle.
How about that?
How about? I'm telling you,
Kyle Draper? How about
now
that?
I'll tell you what. Don't let them lose the game, though, because somebody calls me insufferable. You ain't seen insufferable yet, but for now, I'm gonna give them their flowers.
Campio says the reason the Shanahans have productive running backs is their offensive lines are very good. Draper could have busted off some runs.
Yeah.
For our offensive line.
Some of those holes were big. And those Denver offensive lines were tremendous. Washington, tremendous. And yes, got to give them some credit. So I agree with you, Campio. A few of those holes, like you said, Whitey, he'd go 4 or 5, 6 yards before he was even touched. And so, I thought the running game, the offensive line, to me, that might be the story. Like, we could talk about J.P. Mason. He did phenomenal. But their line was much better than I anticipated last night. Even from a protection standpoint of Brock, sure, he was rushed a little bit, but I don't think Brock ever felt like was forced to do anything last night.
Yeah.
Like, they looked in total command. They won both line of scrimmages.
Yeah.
They control both.
They use a lot of zone blocking, and if you talk to offensive linemen love zone blocking. And what's zone blocking? It's like in basketball, man-to-man versus zone. Zone, you guard an area. Man-to-man, you guard a man.
Right.
And it's zone blocking is when you're going out into a zone and someone's in your zone and you pulverize them. It's like search and destroy, and they're excellent at that. Yeah.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
And they love to get out there rather than you block him and you block that guy. It's like, we're all going over here, and if someone's in our way, we're knocking them down.
Yes. And, it's shows you through all the drama just how well the organization is run. And give the players a lot of credit. They were able to tune out everything, and these guys are on a mission, man. They are locked in. And I thought, I got to give Fred Warner his flowers also. I thought defensively he set the tone early on.
Yeah.
Did you see the punch out? Like that was perfectly executed. And so I don't know, man. We get 38 minutes in. I could be done with the show right now. I don't know if I could do 4 hours of giving these guys their flowers.
Let's see if we can get Drapes to say anything good about rookie Dominic Purdy last night, huh? Woo!
He didn't look like a rookie. He did not look like a rookie at all. Just his understanding, his technique is next level, man. You know, they showed several replays. I mean, this guy you can't move him, and he doesn't get beat. And this is a steal of the draft, maybe. I thought he was huge out there. And, you know, starting a rookie offensive lineman, this is why I brought up earlier how deep they are. You know, guys get hurt. It doesn't matter. They plug somebody else in there. You know, even Trent Williams played most of the game, most of the snaps through 3 quarters. I just thought the offensive line, which I think Pro Football Focus had them rated 23rd.
Yeah, you said 24,
24, 20.
Like
they might be a top 10 offensive line. And I know it's against the Jets, so I don't want to, say it's going to be like this all season.
They're definitely top 10 at running the ball. Definitely.
Yes, exactly. And Dom Pooney, man, he's tremendous.
Yeah.
They hit on that one.
Jay was the one that said there's nothing to worry about last night. Jay, do you think the Jets now going forward, taking emotion out of it, are the Jets like, they're not that bad, but the Niners made them look bad. They may bounce back this week. Or do you think that's really just not a very good team that everyone's overrating?
No, yeah, I think, and I said it yesterday, I think they're a 500 club, which means they're 9-8 or 8 or 9. I don't really see how they beat the Bills twice. I don't really see, them beating Miami twice. Now, they may split with one of those teams, but I'm taking Miami and or the Bills over the Jets to win the AFC East.
You weren't concerned at all about that. If you were, you concealed it very well.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, and I don't remember who said it about Aaron Rodgers beating the 49ers. Aaron Rodgers played 20 years almost. And so, a lot of those victories were when the Niners were down. We're talking about 2010s and they weren't down 10. But, you get what I'm saying. The lean years, the last 4 or 5 years, it always seems like the Packers before he came over to the Jets were playing the 49ers. And Aaron Rodgers is dealt with. He is, if you look at what the 49ers have problems with, Russell Wilson was always an issue with the 49ers because he got off the mark. He moved around. Lamar beat the 49ers. He moves off the mark. Patrick Mahomes gets off the mark. He beats the 49ers. 49ers don't have any problems with playing quarterbacks inside the pocket. They don't. They just truly don't. You know who also gives the 49ers problems? Kyler Murray. All the time. Because he gets off the mark. He extends plays. He does different things. Jordan Love played the 49ers well last year, right? Same situation. Aaron Rodgers doesn't really have nothing, but I think the Jets are a 500 club. They're borderline wild card. They'll be there.
Didn't they win 7 last year, Jay?
Yeah, but Drapes, what do you see?
Aaron Rodgers doesn't give you 3 wins?
Yeah, which is why I say 9 or 8.
Okay.
8 or 9.
Right. They play Hassan Reddick, though. I tell you that.
They do. And they play the NFC West this year, right? So they're getting ready to play the Rams, which is a difficult game.
Seattle, they should beat, right?
I think both of those will be close.
Okay.
I think it's just a team that's getting a little carried away with themselves. Last night was a dose of reality. They're not terrible, but they're not as good as they think they are.
Week 1, White.
I know. But you can see last night. Yeah. I was like, whoa.
But on that drive in the first half, the first quarter, when they marched down the field, they look surgical.
They did.
Like they look like that was them at their best. But we didn't see much of that the rest of the game.
Jason Kelsey eats his words on CMC's absence when we come right back to the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. They'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
When I want to stretch out after a long day, my sofa needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to look attractive and inviting when guests come to visit. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. We spend so much time on our living room sofas that we forget they're a focal point and a hint to our decorating tastes. Right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings sofa sale, you can save on every sofa, including gallery-exclusive custom-ordered flex steel furniture. Whether you're interested in a new sofa, sectional, or recliner, you can choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics. Nobody has more styles and choices than Naturewood Home Furnishings. And when it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop Naturewood for the look you love at a price you'll love even more. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable sofa sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
No Christian McCaffrey, they were able to run the ball really effectively, especially on the edge. What were the problems you were seeing and having in those situations where you couldn't get those stops?
Now they still have a stable of backs, but at the same time, it's they're very, very good up front, and from an efficiency standpoint, they beat us up front, plain and simple.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
Robert Saleh, former 49er defensive coordinator, of course, talking about the 49ers, quote, stable of backs.
Yeah. I mean, how do you lose the offensive player of the year and still manage, 147 rushing yards from JP? Debo gashed you. Like, usually a team loses their stud running back and they're going to take some lumps.
And maybe that's why the running backs are not as valued as they used to be, because people realize, you get a big hole.
Right. Yeah.
Like grandma can pick up 7 yards.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at JP, 28 carries, 147 yards, long of 24. I mean, he was phenomenal at 5.3 yards per carry average.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal.
I'll give Jason Kelce credit, because before the game, he was talking about how, boy, without CMC, it's going to be hard for them to run the ball. And after the game, he made fun of his own take and said that didn't age well. But I will not give him credit for this, Drapes. Jason Kelce apparently forgot his travel bag and had to go to the mall to buy a shirt that he wore on TV.
Oh, man.
Does that happen at that level?
It happens at every level.
Does it really?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you a quick story. Maybe not forgetting the travel bag. What's interesting, I'll tell you a different story. One time during the Kings game, I was about to call a game or a pre and post, I forget which one. And my pants ripped. I'm like, damn. I had to run to Macy's and get a new pair of pants. One time in New Orleans, a shirt ripped. Had to run to Macy's, get a new shirt. One time at Golden One Center, pants ripped. Katie had to not sew them up, but use the pins, pin it up. Pin it up. Yeah. Like things happen, man. And did you see his shirt? Yeah. It was coming apart at the seams. They don't carry his size just on the rack.
Well, it says they had a caption that said Jason forgot his travel bag in the car. Go to the car and get it.
Oh, it was in the car. Come on.
Right. I mean, if it tears, like you said, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
I left it in Philadelphia, whatever. It was in the car.
So where'd he get the shirt from then?
He said he went to the mall.
But if your car, I don't know. Something ain't adding up, Whitey.
I think you're right.
Kelsey, something ain't adding up with this story.
Yeah. He got roasted by fans after revealing to viewers he had to buy a shirt from the mall because he forgot his bag in his car.
Maybe it was like his car at the airport.
Maybe he's in his car at the airport.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a mall at the stadium.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, I don't know. That's
anyway.
Yeah.
He was also surprised. He was among those very surprised by the fact that the 49ers ran the ball as well as they did without CMC, one of the offensive players of the year last year.
Yeah, and I was surprised also. Just like Kelsey said yesterday. I said it as well. No CMC. They are toast. It's going to be on the defense to, hold the Jets in check. It's going to be on Brock Purdy's arm. They got to pass the ball. And that's what I go back to saying how deep this team is. You lose CMC. It doesn't matter. You got Dominique Pooney on the offensive line, McKivitz out there. You look at Trent, like they got 5 or 6 offensive linemen they can rotate to as well. Who got hurt last night? Which offensive lineman was
Trent
it?
Was out for a minute.
Yeah, Trent was somebody.
Aaron Banks.
Banks got hurt. Banks got hurt. Burford, jumps right back in. Jumps in. Like
Banks had a bad finger, right? I think he was questionable.
Yeah, and so they're a deep team, man.
You see Brendel getting choked? I mean, who was that? I think that was the illegal hands to the face. Sometimes, a guy will get his hand up, someone's face mask. Whoever the Jet was, number 11, I think. He was literally choking the center. Yeah. Around his throat.
The guy had him around his throat. Yeah. Yeah, I thought it's a tremendous game, man. Give him credit, dude.
Oh, I am.
Do they have any holes? Even Jake Moody is looking perfect.
Yeah,
like he's looking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Now calm down, Jay. Calm down. He made a
He's
few.
a baller.
He made a few field goals.
No. He was 6'6".
Moody.
I thought people were like over the top last year just because people loved Gold. Robbie Gold was beloved. So anything you know this, Drapes. Anytime you have a change, people look at it. This is my weakness, and I said this yesterday. We need Huff to come back quick. Did you guys see Odom? He missed easily 5 tackles.
Yeah, you were.
The tackling was not good last night.
Yeah, he missed a few of them, and I was like, we might have to put him back in special teams. He's a special teams ace.
Yeah,
but Huff has missed a little bit, and you can see even there were a couple times Odom had the beat. On the tackle or two on 3rd down, especially on that drive they scored a touchdown. And I'm like, Huff makes that tackle 9 times out of 10.
I think even Warner, who graded out really high last night, I think even he missed.
Yeah, he missed
a couple
one or two.
tackles.
Yeah,
tackling was not good, and I would still say the pass protection wasn't a problem last night. But going forward, those would be concerns.
Right. So it wasn't all perfect. They got some areas.
Week 1, as my friend Jay likes to say. Week 1.
So there's tape for Kyle to show the guys hey, we got to be better. And that's good, right? As a coach, you want to point out the miscues. And I'll be honest, man, I'm scared. I'm coming to the realization this Niners team is legit. I mean, I understand that, and I give y'all crap, and I talk a lot of smack, but I don't see any holes really.
It's just so long to go. There's so many games left.
Right.
And it's freaking football,
Yeah. Any given Sunday, right? Yeah. Anything can happen.
I mean, the physical toll it's going to take on these guys between now and the playoffs, it's almost, for most of us, I think it's almost literally unimaginable,
Right.
most of us would be, well, I'd be in the hospital.
Yeah, right.
Fellas, I'm
That's
walking
true.
the dog this morning, this past afternoon, I guess. And I got my 49ers hat on, and one of my neighbors, literally, I see him every now and then. He lives like 2-3 blocks away from me. I'm walking my dog, and he's a car guy. So I think that's why we talk. And he's like, looks like it's going to be a Super Bowl rematch, huh? Ooh. And I said, huh? It kind of caught me off guard. He's like, yeah, man, I'm a Chief. So first thing is, how are you a Chief and why are you a Chief? Right. So he explains it to me. I'm like, okay, you're a Chief because of your pops. And I'm like, you really think so? It's only week 1. Yeah, man. The new kid, Xavier Worthy, and the way Jordan Mason running and the depth, he's like, it's going to be tough to beat the Chiefs and the 49ers.
That's true.
What'd you say?
One?
What do you? Yeah, it's too early, huh?
Yeah, I think so, man. And like you said, though, there's a lot of football left to be played, but let's call it what it is. At their best, the Niners, there's nobody in the NFC can beat them at their best.
I agreed with what Van Pelt said last night after the game. He was talking about, they haven't won yet, but he remembered he was a golf guy, and he said, Phil Mickelson. There was a time when everyone said Phil Mickelson can't win a major, and now he's won like 6 or whatever.
Right.
Now he was one of the all-time greats, but for a long time, Mickelson, he can't win a major until you do.
Until you do, you're not a winner until. I think that the thing, and it's still way early. When it comes to that point for the Niners, whether it's Super Bowl, NFC Championship, do they start the narrative? Well, they haven't won one. Can that play a part psychologically with them? Like, Buffalo, the Bills, 4 Super Bowls, didn't win. Like, there becomes a narrative, And so Kyle Shanahan and the Niners, 3 NFC Championship games, 2 Super Bowls. There comes a point where it's like the Kings with the Pelicans. You start to wonder, like, damn, can we win? Can we beat these guys?
It was sometime in that Buffalo run, if I'm not mistaken. They were playing Denver in the AFC Championship game, and Denver was kind of a surprise team. They weren't expected to be there. And there were stories that there were fans in Denver saying, we don't want to win this game because we don't want to lose another Super Bowl.
Oh, snap.
And then they ended up winning.
Didn't want that heartbreak
they won a
again.
couple in a row, but at that point, it's like, we don't want to go through that again.
Yeah. How about this from the 916, Mr. Kyle Draper? Calm down your horses. It is only 1 game out of 17.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to give the Niners some love here. I'm trying to give them their credit where they're due.
Calm down your horses. I've heard hold your horses.
Calm down your horses. That's a new one. Yeah. Same way I gave the Chiefs all the credit and say they're a better team this year and they're going to win the Super Bowl. I got to give the Niners some love after watching them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We gave a lot of love to many of the great Kings of the past. And Mike Woodson's going to join us, Indiana coach. Mike Woodson, one of the original Kings. Did he end up top 50, Jay? Do you remember? I think he was honorable mention.
48 or 49.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mike Woodson joins us next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
For most of the people that walk in our store, it's been an ongoing, nonstop issue, and they're finally walking into the Good Feet store. Okay, the guy that came into my store last year that has had plantar fasciitis for 30 years. I looked at him, I said, are you kidding me? I've been here for 14. Where have you been? I helped relieve a problem that's plagued him for 30 years. I mean, how do you not go home and talk about that?
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
It's the home opener for Sacramento State Hornets this Saturday, 6 p.m. kickoff versus Nichols. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
What sets Ashton & Price apart from other injury law firms? I'll tell you. From beginning to end, all important legal decisions are made directly between our clients and their experienced local attorney. A gate agent flying the plane, the receptionist performing surgery, not a chance. There's simply no substitute for the unique power of the direct attorney-client relationship offered by Ashton & Price. And there's never a fee until we win, and between you and me, we win a lot.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTK-AM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports.
Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We continue to bask in the afterglow of that 49er win last night. An hour in, Trapes, how's it gone for you?
No, I feel good, man. I feel good. People won't be able to paint me as a Niners hater anymore, right? I've gotten rid of that reputation.
Our next guest here was one of the people named by our panel of experts and ne'er-do-wells as one of the top 50 Sacramento Kings ever. Kings coming up on 40 years here. He only played 1 year here, but it was the first year in Sacramento. Very accomplished basketball figure, currently head coach, men's basketball at Indiana, 11-year NBA veteran, an original Sacramento King, Mike Woodson joining us today. How are you today, Mike?
I'm doing fine, Kevin and Cal. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great, and we appreciate your time here. I'm just wondering, what Mike, is the first thing that you think of when you remember that first year of the Kings here in Sacramento?
It was a great move. You know, I mean, and that's no knock against leaving Kansas City because I left a lot of friends behind there. Mm-hmm. But once we made the move, the fan support was unbelievable. I mean, it's hard to even describe it, and it's still that way today. But it was like, for me, being back in college, because everywhere you went around town, everyone knew who you were. And I mean, we were the main attraction in that city, and they treated us that way. So, I mean, the transfer from Kansas City to Sacramento was like night and day. Although I had some great times in Kansas City, but nothing like what we experienced that first year in Sacramento. Was unbelievable.
Mike Woodson joining us, Coach. It's Kyle Draper. Let me just start off by saying, big fan of yours. I used to work in Louisville, Kentucky. We used to cover IU basketball. Very familiar with your college career, also with your pro career. And as a coach, one of my good friends is Josh Childress, who you had there in Atlanta as well. So it's an honor. Yeah, it's an honor for me to, have you on our show. You know, when you look at that first year in Sacramento, were there any expectations coming in, or was it so fresh and new, like, you know what, we're just hooping and whatever the record may be, it may be?
I think at that particular time, the city was just excited to have a pro team. And, you know, we were coming off a bad year in Kansas City after making the playoffs the year prior to that. And so we were still searching. We were a young team that was growing together pretty much as a team. And unfortunately, when we got to SAC and we started that season, we got off to such a bad start. I think it was something like 6-15, 16, something like that. It was awful. But the beauty about that bad start was we still got standing ovations when we lost, which was amazing. You laugh about that. I laugh about that now because that's unheard of. That's how beautiful the Sacramento fans were, and they appreciated us even when we lost. And Phil Johnson, who was the coach, he just flipped the lineup. You know, I wasn't playing much at during that particular stretch, and he took Larry Drew out of the lineup, put me in the lineup, and he took Eddie Johnson out of the lineup and put Terry Tyler in the lineup, and we took off. And I want to say we had like the third best record the second half of the season behind the Lakers and the Celtics that particular year, and was able to get into the playoffs, which, you know, nobody thought that would happen after the start that we had.
Yeah, Mike Woodson with us, one of the original Sacramento Kings, longtime NBA coach at Indiana. As you said, Coach, that team made the playoffs. There haven't been a lot of playoff teams in Sacramento. That first year, yeah, you guys made the playoffs. Do you think perhaps, not to be critical of anyone, you know, I know Mr. Axelson's not with us anymore, but did they maybe break that team up a little early?
That's exactly what happened. You know, we were young, we were growing, we were starting to come into our own as a ball club, and I just thought they panicked, man. You know, I had knee surgery right after that season, and I was one of the first, along with Larry Drew, to get traded, and it was a struggle based on the players that they brought back in. They never recaptured what we had started that particular year. It took them a long time to recover from that, and I just thought that they panicked too soon, and they should have let us continue to grow as a team and added pieces, and I thought we would have been just fine, but that's, you know, life in the NBA.
Hey, Coach, you know, I look at that roster, and just if you could tell me, what kind of team were you guys? What kind of style? Because I look at you, I look at Reggie, Eddie Johnson. You guys could fill it up. Were you a run and gun, outscore them kind of, or did you guys play any defense?
No, we struggled on the defense. We struggled a little bit on the defensive end, but we could score with the best of them. You know, you look at Eddie Johnson and the career he's had, that he had, 18 years in the league. I don't know how many. He scored probably 18,000 points. Reggie scored a lot of points. I was able to. Larry Drew scored. I mean, we were a good offensive team, but boy, you asked us to play defense and get stops. Boy, that was a struggle.
Mike Woodson, our guest, one of the original Kings. Now, of course, Mike, as you well know, the Kings are playing in the Golden One Center, beautiful facility. Before that, they were in Arco 2, which was a nice building, and it became obsolete. But you played in what is now, I think it's like an office supply building or something. That first Arco 1, which was so small. What was it like playing NBA basketball in that tiny place?
It was a matchbox. It was right at 10,000 people. But boy, I tell you what, when opposing teams would come in, they knew we had home court advantage based on the fans. No, really, they were so loud and supportive of us. And, you know, once we got rolling, man, we didn't lose very many games in Arco after, you know, we turned it around. But fun place to play in.
Coach, switching gears just a little bit, you know, you were on some pretty good IU teams, Indiana University. You got to play with Isaiah Thomas. You know, when we talk about all-time great point guard, Steph has mentioned Magic. Put into context where Isaiah fits in and all that.
He's right there. If you want to talk about the smallest point guard that's ever played the game, I put him right there. You know, Magic is probably the best big point guard that's ever played the game. I mean, I think when you start your team, if you want to win, you started with Magic Johnson based on the body of work that he's put in from high school, college, and pros, the Olympics, you name it, he's done it. And Isaiah, based on the body of work he's put in, I mean, he's been a winner at every level as well. And, I mean, for his size and what he's done in our league, hard to replace that, man. He's right at the top when you ask Mike Woodson. I could be a little biased, but hey, I think Isaiah is one of the greatest point guards that's ever played the game.
Yeah, I think he's somehow underrated because it gets lost in the shuffle with Bird Magic.
Shouldn't
I don't know.
be.
Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, it shouldn't be. He has 2 titles to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, I put him right there.
Coach, Jerry Reynolds is a friend of ours, friend of the show, and he's a media icon here. And he comes on the show all the time, and he's always telling us stories about players, and you were one of his favorites, of course. He's telling us about this player did this, that player did that. Do you have any stories? And I know it was just the 1 year there, but he was here with the Kings a long time. I know you dealt with him. Do you have any stories about Jerry Reynolds that you can tell? Because he's always telling stories about players.
All good stuff, man. You know, I mean, Jerry was well knowledgeable of the game. He had been around a lot of great players, even dating back to college.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he told it like it was. I mean, when he was on the air, and I had nothing but respect for him because we all got to know we were one big family. Cotton Fitzsimmons, you know, that whole crew, Eddie Johnson. I mean, went on for days. Joe C. Merriweather, Drew, Ray Williams. I mean, all the players that had come through during that time. Jerry was pretty special, man, when it comes to doing his job. I mean, he did a hell of a job, and that's why he lasted as long as he did.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Hey, Coach, the Kings have made a turnaround, obviously, a couple of years ago, made the playoffs, ended the drought, and, you know, Mike Brown has done a hell of a job here. Can you just talk about just your experience with Mike Brown and the success he's having now here in Sacramento?
Great coach. You know, I mean, great ownership. You know, I've gotten to know Raj Bethal, one of the majority owners of the team over the years. Met him when I was coaching in LA with the Clippers. What a nice man, nice family, just a beautiful person to be around. And they hired the right guy. You know, Mike came in there and he flipped it. And they've had some success with that ball club. They're young, you know, and very talented, man. I like Fox. I like everything about how he runs his ball club. I mean, they're just a good team to watch. They're a fun team to watch. And, you know, when you're in the West, man, there's so much talent in the West. It's just, you got to stay on your toes to even make the playoffs in the West. And they've done a pretty damn good job of doing that.
Catching up with Mike Woodson. Coach, I know that you played for and coached with some legends, including, of course, Coach Knight, whom we lost less than a year ago, and Larry Brown. I know you've coached college, NBA. How have you adapted your coaching style to the way the game has evolved and become so perimeter-oriented?
Well, it started to make that change when I was coaching the Knicks. I don't know if you guys remember the year we won the division. You know, we led the league in threes taken and threes made, and we were third in field goal percentage that particular year. So, you know, and we were putting up, I think at that time, close to 33s. And I didn't think that record would ever be broken. And then here comes James Harden and Steph Curry. They changed the whole game, man, in terms of where we are today. And with, you know, college teams are shooting a lot of threes. The NBA is jacking up a lot of threes. And, you know, I'm not against it. You know, I mean, I just think you got to have the right personnel when you're doing that, you know. And you know, I think we've kind of assembled some of that this year. You know, we lacked shooting, you know, the last 3 years that I've been here at Indiana, but we are I think we're in a better position coming into this season with guys and personnel to be able to, shoot threes as well as post the ball some and have some inside game as well.
Coach, I look at a player you had there in Indiana, and I know he plays with our rivals, the Golden State Warriors. But how the hell did Trace Jackson Davis slip so far down? And did the Warriors get a steal in this guy? He's poised to have a big role for them this year.
Well, I couldn't understand that either. And I spoke to a lot of the NBA teams back then. The big knock was he can't make a three. Well, he can rebound. He defends. He can handle the ball. He passes the ball. He finishes at the rim with both hands. He runs the floor. So he can't make a jump shot. I'll take that type of player over a guy that's just a jump shooter.
Mm-hmm.
He does a lot of things, and I think Steve Kerr and his staff recognize that. And that's why he has had some success early on in his career in the NBA. And I can't help but think if he continues to work, he's going to continue to get better.
One of the original Sacramento Kings.
Yes.
Coach, we appreciate your time very, very much. Best of luck this year with the Hoosiers, and we hope to talk to you again soon. Thanks for joining us today, Mike.
I'm pulling for the Kings because I've always done that. In my heart, I'm always a King as well.
Nice.
So, love hearing that, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, guys. Take care.
All right.
Yeah. Mike Woodson, according to the panel, he was top 50.
Yes.
Even though he's only here that 1 year in Sacramento.
Oh, he was a bucket too, man. Look at his numbers, Basketball Reference. This guy could score the rock.
Mm-hmm. And then is Reggie Theus coming up too this week?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, my guy, Reggie. I'm excited about that.
5:30.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. When we come back, Jordan Mason's huge night by the numbers. Some staggering numbers are next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Hello. Hey, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. Did you know we've got you fully covered?
I've taken up beekeeping. I'm always covered.
I'm talking the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage at up to half the cost.
Same honey, half the work?
Exactly.
Sweet.
Just call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Ulta Beauty's 21 Days of Beauty event is back. From now until September 19th, score over 200 daily beauty steals at 50% off in every category. And check Ulta.com daily to get them all before they're gone. Take 50% off bestsellers from brands like Estee Lauder and Supergoop. Plus, say hello to new finds from brands like Dyson and Sol de Janeiro. And Ilia is now at Ulta Beauty in select stores and online. Shop in-store at Ulta.com or try pickup today. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply while supplies last.
A new Honda? Nice. Well, it was like this. It was a super hot day, so we all stopped for some ice cream. When bam, the AC went out. My dad started sweating and was all, man, I stink. And my brother was like, I hate this car. And my mom was all, I'm dying in here. Then I said, it's time to call Stockton Honda. Then Dad was like, honey, you're right. I knew you were my favorite. And just like that, Stockton Honda to the rescue. StocktonHonda.com.
Championship level group. As someone who's seen a lot of talented Niners teams, would you say it's a fair assessment?
I would. Yeah, they are a championship level group, and I hope we see them there.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916 Sactown Sports.
If Aaron Rodgers wants to see the 49ers again, he better get Sunday ticket, right? There's no way that's even right.
No Super Bowl matchup?
No.
I'm with you on that.
Right? I mean, come on.
As of now, yes, I'm with you on that. Yeah, they got some work to do, no doubt about it.
Thank you for the clip. I think you sent the clip, Devontae Adams.
Hyping up the Niners.
Yeah,
yes,
they're the best team in the NFC, and then he got some sort of like allergic reaction.
Right.
He started scratching because he didn't really want to say it.
He's like, "What am I doing here?" Like he's in a Matrix or something, and he got to wake up. And but yeah, the Niners are the best team in the NFC right now. Best looking team right now. Like people have pointed out on the text line and YouTube, we got to see what happens. Let it play out.
Jordan Mason's huge night by the numbers. So this would be a first start as a 49er back, most yards. Number 1, Carlos Hyde had 168 against Minnesota in September of 2015. Number 2, Kevin Barlow, 154 versus Arizona, December 7th of 03. Then Jordan Mason last night with 147. Number 4, Maurice Hicks, 2004 with 139 against Arizona. And number 5, Matt Breida had 138 at 2018 against the Lions. Like I said, a lot of people who've seen Jordan Mason play a lot were not surprised that he was productive last night. But 147, that's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. And, the fact that, the Jets knew, like, stopping a run was something they wanted to improve on this season. And they just got manhandled at the offensive line. And this is an undrafted free agent that the Niners signed back in 2022. And here he is on Monday Night Football being the best player on the field. Like, he was the guy yesterday, 147 yards. I mean, kudos to him. He's going to be a big part of this team. And I think this is huge for the Niners from this respect, Whitey. We talked about, CMC's workload last year and how much, Kyle was playing. Now you got another back, a change of pace back, a guy you don't have to run CMC 25 times, 26 times. Run CMC 19 times, 18 times, and let JP Mason get 7 to 10 carries a game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, this team is deep, and, JP Mason literally took the ball and ran with it last night.
Yes. Not only does he give you depth, assuming you have CMC, but he's also kind of a change of pace from CMC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. 2 different backs. And, the thing I like about him, watching him, he attacks the hole. You know what I mean? He's not dancing now around too much. At least he didn't last night. Like, the holes were there, and he didn't make it, more difficult than it needed to be. He saw the hole and hit it. And, he had shown some flashes, obviously, in spot duty in previous years. But, I didn't expect him to be a bell cow kind of running back last night.
That's one of the things you got to do in this system. That's what Mostert used to do. Totally different style. But where he Mostert, give him the ball, he sees the hole, boom, right to it.
Yes. Gone. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to run for 80 yards untouched.
Who, Mostert?
Yeah.
The offensive line is doing a hell of a job. I'm looking at some of his college stats talking about JP Mason. His freshman year averaged 6.1 yards per carry. Sophomore, 5.2. 2020, only 6 games, shortened season, COVID, 4.3. 2021, 5.2. How did this guy go undrafted? It's blasphemous. It blows my mind that this kind of talent could go undrafted out there.
Mm-hmm. What'd you think of Brandon Ayuk's debut? They made it kind of tough on him.
Yeah.
Be careful so you don't drop the ball.
Right. Peyton got on his butt. And, obviously I'm an Ayuk guy. That's my guy. I'm a cheer for him. I'm a root for him to do good. But I would say his debut, a D plus. And everybody say, well, he had a couple of drops. The first one, that was a hell of a play by Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, it was literally knocked out of his hand.
Knocked out. I'm not going to blame Ayuk.
By the way, did you see there's a similar pass that Brock Purdy threw to Debo, and Debo was like showing him?
Right.
Throw it out here.
Like,
yeah. You don't want to show me.
I did see that. But dropping the touchdown ball, that can't happen. The way Peyton Manning, talked about it, like, that's why you put in the work in the offseason. That's why you come to camp. That's why you get the reps. And so out of everybody, let's hear from Peyton. This is Peyton's reaction after Ayuk dropped that touchdown pass.
Jennings. Oh, what a throw.
Ayuk, he's a little rusty, Pate. He's missed all training camp.
Hey, get signed, get in training camp. There's a reason for training camp. You need it. We need the reps.
Oh.
Get those contracts done earlier so we can get in training camp. We don't drop balls on opening night.
Right. It's probably one thing catching passes, running routes. All of a sudden you're laying out for a pass, full speed, diving. That's why, those happen in camp. You make those, you practice those. That's just a little rusty right there.
You're still catching balls at a high school field from some quarterback that's 45 years old, my age, you're not catching balls from your quarterback. Get signed, get in camp, and we don't drop the ball.
That's good stuff from Peyton right there. That's great stuff. And he's right, though. Like, practicing at a high school field, running routes, you're not laying out like that. You're not trying to make that catch.
If he made that catch, wouldn't we be saying that was a great catch? If he full out dives, catches the ball. When Wilson
nice catch.
A full out dive.
That's not a great catch.
No, it's a hell of a throw we would be talking about.
Definitely a hell of a throw.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay. I mean, you chime in on this too. But those are the things you can't practice unless you're in camp with your guys, going against live competition, live reps. And, I don't care how many routes you run on your high school field, with a quarterback 45 years throwing it to you. You're not, practicing that ball. So I agree with Peyton on that. It was an impact yesterday. You saw it. Ayuk was not sharp last night.
Right. But he had to take care of his business.
Yeah, I get that. I'm not going to begrudge, but it's going to take a few games, though, right? This is the growing pains that the Niners will have to go through. Him and Purdy aren't going to be in lockstep.
I know. It did hit him right there.
Right. I mean, if it hit him, where did it hit him again, Whitey? Right there. Yeah,
you said pan hands.
Pan hands.
He had too much money blocking it to put them hands together.
Pan hands. That's hilarious.
Did you see the wasn't it the touchdown Debo scored where he almost lost the ball?
Yeah,
He was holding the ball when he went across the goal line.
He almost coughed that thing up.
I
was like, damn, he didn't fumble it. So,
But see, the 49ers, they got through a week of Ayuk not being very sharp with a big win.
Yeah.
And I'll say this for the NFL, that was the fourth primetime game of the opening weekend. And it was the only one that really was a dog of a game. If you're a 49er fan, you love it.
Yeah.
But as far as being a competitive game, it was the only one-sided game.
Yeah, exactly. And, I look at the Niners obviously as Super Bowl contenders. To Jay's point, should we, meaning me and the rest of the national media, now that Aaron Rodgers is back, sort of limit our expectations for these guys? You know what? I forget who I was listening to today as I was driving around, but they were saying, I definitely have the Jets in the playoffs. And I'm like, really? Really? After last night?
NFL playoffs?
Right. I think they'll be, like Jay said, 9 or 10 wins, in my opinion, 9 or 10. But I don't know if that'll do enough to get you in the playoffs. They might be the third best team in the division.
Remember a couple weeks ago, we were looking at some of the comments in the Athletic, anonymous executives, and one of them said, that's a disaster over there. Total dysfunction.
Yeah.
I
remember we talked about that. Yeah.
I was wondering about that last night.
Yeah.
I like Tyrod Taylor, though. I was glad he did a halfway decent job at the end. I've always liked Tyrod.
Okay.
Taylor.
I like him too. He's a, I mean, what, 6
he's
of
playing
8?
They're in big trouble.
Right. Exactly. Somebody asked an interesting question on the YouTube chat here. Amadrock, is it a bad thing that the Niners have so much depth? If BA was thrown a few more, he might have made those catches. 5 targets last night for Brandon Ayuk.
2 catches, 5 targets, 2 catches.
Yeah. And that's the thing, too, that people have said about, his contract. He's never going to be a 13, 14, 15 target kind of guy. That's just not, in this offense, that's not how he's going to be.
Yeah, I don't see the problem. They need him, and they need to play him to get him up to speed. And for them to be as good as they can be, they're going to need him to be up to speed. So, yeah, they got away with one last night.
Yeah, they got away. Now, my Minnesota Vikings next week. Now, that's
your Minnesota Vikings. You and Chris Watkins.
Me and Chris Watkins, we on the same team this week. So.
Who are the top graded quarterbacks in the NFL this week, according to Pro Football Focus?
You asking me that?
You just
I just told you. Brock Purdy, number 1.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold.
What?
Sammy Dropback, number 2.
He knows that 49er defense well.
Exactly. And this should be a great matchup, I think. No, dude, I'm telling you. I was a Sam Darnold fan last year. His arm strength, he's phenomenal. If you can protect him, I like Sam Darnold. Not saying they're going to beat the Niners,
well,
but
they're getting 6. Are you picking?
Nah, it's too late. It's too early for that. Let's wait. Let's see where the line moves. What if it's like 8.5 by kickoff or something like that? See, so I'm not going to go out on the limb yet.
We do have to discuss the manner of the picks and the fact that you came in last this week. So we have to determine, Jay, how are we going to come up with the word that Drake will have to work in to an interview. I would suggest that we allow people to make suggestions. And obviously it can't be anything that you can't say on radio.
Yeah, it got to be PG.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Can't be R-rated or X-rated or anything.
I like that.
Let
And
the people
we
decide.
can come to a conclusion.
Okay.
Right. We're not obligated to pick anything that is suggested, but we would love your suggestions. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. You're on the chat. It's going to be a word. Going to be a phrase, Drapes, or just a word? What are you open to?
Just a word.
Just a word.
Yeah, make it easy.
A word, ridiculous word, if you want, that he will have to work into an interview this week. Maybe with Reggie Theus. I know you don't want to do that, but that's the whole point. Is you may have to do it during an interview that you don't really want to do it during. So.
Yeah, that's right. I don't welch on my bets.
The wordsmith.
Yeah, I'm
You'll probably
okay.
be very good at it.
Yeah, I'll work it in and you won't even notice it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fly over everybody's head. That's what I'm hoping.
All right. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. When we come back, we have to look at this A's story. What's going on with the A's? Why some A's fans are not happy today, Sacramento A's fans? That's next on Sactown Sports.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Have you heard you can listen to your favorite news podcasts ad-free? Good news! With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. Enjoy shows like The Daily, Up First, and Consider This, available ad-free on Amazon Music. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free. That's amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Carmelie.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich. Dasha.
And
And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
The 90th annual Marysville Stampede is coming to Marysville's Cotton Rosser Arena this Saturday and Sunday. It's a whole weekend of the best pro rodeo action for the whole family. Bareback, saddle bronc, and bull riding. Plus the BMX motorcycle show. It's just $25 for adults and $15 for kids 4 to 12. The 90th annual Marysville Stampede, Saturday at 5 p.m. and Sunday at 3:30 p.m. at the Cotton Rosser Arena in Marysville. Get your tickets at MarysvilleStampede.com.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Oh, it's a glorious day here in Sacramento. The 49ers victorious. Demar DeRozan's new book dropping today, available today, right?
Yeah, it just came out. Got a copy of it. Jay has it back there right now, and he's on a book tour. I think he's in New York today. But efforting having him, on the show, my Above the Noise, my story of chasing calm, Demar DeRozan dropped today, September 10th. And so I'm expecting big things out of him, Whitey. And I'm not just talking basketball wise. I'm talking the impact he's going to have off the floor as well.
Yeah.
And hopefully
Sounds
we'll
like
get him on the show.
Very heavy read, very meaningful Right. And Reed.
Yeah, a forward by Coach Greg Popovich also. And I can't wait to dive into this. If you're looking on the YouTube chat, I'm holding it up right now, Sactown Sports 1140. But go out there and support our guy, Demar DeRozan. The thing about Demar, and I was talking with someone from the Kings organization about this today, he was at the forefront of coming out with mental health and talking about his mental health. And, you know, this is something he embraces. And then he put it in this book as well. And it's not a basketball book. That's the thing that I like about it. It's not just X's and O's and basketball. It's about tuning out the noise. And I believe the noise he's talking about is the noise in your head.
Sure.
You know, and so, no, I can't wait to dive into this one.
He's also had some really interesting things to say about Sacramento and the NBA on Paul George's podcast.
Yeah.
We'll get to some of that. And then we found out today Jay Crowder working out with the Kings. I know Drapes is very excited about that.
Yes.
Almost as excited about that as he is about that 49er win last night.
Yeah, I might be a little more excited about Jay Crowder. As a matter of fact, I'm about to text him right now, be like, Jay, welcome to Sac. Sign right now.
Yeah,
Like, he is the guy we need from a culture standpoint. I can't wait.
So there's a lot of positive stuff going on. This, however, not viewed in a positive light by many. What do you make of this? It was reported at SI.com. The Bee today has confirmed this story. Home postseason games are not guaranteed to be played at Sutter Health Park for the A's next year, the next 3-4 years. In the event a home postseason game occurs at an alternate location, A's season ticket holders will have priority purchase access for tickets. Some people are feeling like, and I guess it's in the small print, some people feel like, wait a minute, so I'm spending all this money on these tickets. And if the A's make the postseason, which is not unthinkable over the next 3-4 years, I know they're not a playoff team right now, but they are improving. That means the games might not even be in Sacramento. Some people are crying, foul!
Whitey. You know, I was thinking about this today, and I'm trying to take the emotion out of it. If you're an owner and you're hosting a playoff game, is 14,000 seats enough?
No, it's probably not. And by the way, the statement does not definitively say that there will be no postseason games here. So they're saying it may not be here. In all fairness, they're not saying we would not play a postseason game here.
Yeah,
So,
no need to rip them, totally. But it is shocking from a Sacramento standpoint. It's like, yeah, we're buying all these tickets, we're selling out, and then when it comes time for the money games, the big games, I don't know where you would go. That's did that article ever mention that? Like,
not exactly
an alternate site, like what it would be?
To the point that season ticket holders would have priority purchase for tickets wherever the games are held. That would imply that it's going to be closed, right?
Yeah.
So some people think, well, they must be talking about, you're talking about a major league facility within driving distance. We're talking about Oracle, or we're talking about, once again, the Oakland Coliseum.
Maybe some sort
It's
of
all
deal.
theoretical. They may never come close to making the playoffs.
Yeah.
That may be a moot point.
It's kind of a gut punch, but, from an A's standpoint, I get it. We're talking to playoffs here. You got a 14,000 seat facility. Like, to me, this is a signal to Sac, and I understand it's putting the cart before the horse, but if you do want to be considered a major league town, you got to have a major league facility. And obviously a new stadium is a huge undertaking. You don't put it up, unless you know somebody's coming, but you got to be realistic about it too. Like 14,000 for a playoff game in October? If you're Oakland, if you're the A's, I get, not committing to that right now. I don't know what the options are. But maybe it's at a point where let's explore the options. Let's see what else is out there. It is a gut punch, though, from a fan standpoint. It's like we just supported you 162 games.
It feels like theoretically, or at least potentially, Sacramento is being used in this, in a way. You're going to play your games here. You're not going to put Sacramento on the uniform. And then when you have a big game, you're not even going to play here. So, there's some of that feeling to this.
Yeah, but that was the feeling yesterday too. Like, this news doesn't change that. I mean, I think, speaking for myself, I've come to the realization that, Sacramento's being used. But
Willingly, apparently.
Willingly, exactly, willingly, because it's our opportunity to show, you know what, we are ready for Major League. Maybe it's not the A's that come here full time eventually. Maybe it's another team down the road, but we have proven we can handle it. And so this is an end means to an end, if you will. And so this news today, it sucks, yes, if that's the case, but I feel the same way as I did yesterday. Like, we're being used. All right, so what? We're going to make the best of it for these next 3 years.
Sacramento's trying to get something out of it, too.
Yeah.
There is an X factor to all this. Last week, Susan Slusser wrote a story for the Chronicle. She talked about this whole situation. There's a lot of agents that are worried, and agents are looking out for their players. Agents are concerned about the conditions here in Sacramento. And that's what agents have to do. It's like, this is my guy. The clubhouse is this and that.
Yeah.
It won't be a Major League standard. One of the things that is potentially in the works here, an agent pointed out, look, they got new ownership for the Oakland Coliseum. The A's ownership and the Oakland city government, they were not getting along at all. They clashed. Now you've got new ownership, and it takes effect officially this month, I believe.
Yeah.
Perhaps, as the agent, why wouldn't the A's go back to the new ownership and reopen talks about playing in Oakland? I don't know if they will or not, but it does make sense that if they come to a point where they realize or feel that here in Sacramento, it's just not quite Major League caliber, maybe they head back to Oakland. It wouldn't surprise me. I still don't think they're going to Vegas.
You still don't, huh?
It's just nothing's happening there.
I do think, though, Whitey, basically they're being allowed to use Sutter Health for free.
As far as we don't know what the terms are, but it seems that way.
If they go back to the Coliseum, the new owners, it's going to cost a pretty penny, right?
Maybe.
That's what I think, And so from a financial standpoint, that would be like you had the stadium. You had the opportunity to be there. Like, it's going to cost them a pretty penny. And I don't know if John Fisher is willing to pony that up when he has a sweetheart deal here.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables here.
Yeah.
It's just kind of another one, to me, from Sacramento's standpoint of, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's part of the deal as well.
Yeah.
I had some people on Twitter. I was going back and forth with a guy or two on Twitter. People going, ha, ha, ha. The A's in the playoffs? Well, it's, we're talking about over the next 3 or 4 years, the A's, a young team getting better. It's not ridiculous to suggest they could be a playoff team in 3 to 4 years.
Right. They've been one of the hottest teams in baseball since All-Star break. And when it's all said and done, they'll be one of the hottest teams during the second half of the season.
How about this, Drapes?
Yeah,
in 2021, the Arizona Diamondbacks were 52 and 110.
Exactly.
2 years later, they were in the World
Series. Exactly. And so, why not us?
And I'm just talking about in the playoffs. I'm not talking about the World Series.
We're not talking World Series. Exactly. We're talking about playing some October baseball. And especially with the way it is now, with how many teams make it, it's a wild card game or something like that. Why couldn't it happen?
Yeah, you got 6 teams now in each.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see it happening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It would suck, though, if it's like in Oakland or Reno or, just somewhere.
Reno would suck.
I don't even know if they have the facility up there. I'm just spitballing, throwing that. But it's like, damn, really?
Mm-hmm.
So, but here's the thing, too, White. Let me ask you this. If you got money to pay for season tickets, don't you got money to travel wherever they may be?
Maybe.
Like those tickets are no joke, right? It's not a pretty, especially the 3-year commitment
so far
that you got to make. Yeah. That's big time money. Was I listening to Carmichael Davis? Somebody shelled out 70-something thousand for tickets.
Yeah, somebody on our text line today. I know Jay has friends that have either they spent or they were gonna spend tens of thousands of dollars.
100 plus.
Yeah.
See? Damn.
For like 126.
That's for all 3 years, right?
Seasons.
All 3 years. Wow, Jay. That's
Draper money.
That's your money, big fan. Those your friends, dang. What kind of circles you rolling in? Shoot. Not mine. I'll tell you that.
See, if the A's play here a year or two and decide, we just can't do it. They've got all that money for the second or third year, fourth year. Well, not the fourth year.
Yeah.
They get all the interest on that.
All the interest.
There's your money back.
Yeah.
And they're making money on that.
It's all about the
They're
money,
making
man.
money.
We know that. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I guess we'll see if this impacts ticket sales. If it doesn't, And
I don't
for the
think it
A's,
will.
like, all right,
It's
some
like,
people aren't
yeah,
happy.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
We'll see you opening day.
Yes.
Okay. CMC, what did the 49ers know about his condition? When did they know it? That's next here with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Another nice cool night coming up. Valley temperatures drop into the upper 50s. Wednesday will be windy with gusts to 30 miles per hour and highs in the mid-80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
DC here, and if you've been thinking about a new car, you gotta see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia. You can always count on low payments and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
Some people just know safe drivers save more with Allstate. Just like they know a saxophone solo makes any song smoother. See? Smooth. And they know if you're a safe driver, you can save up to 40% with Allstate. Now that's nice.
Based on the national average premium savings for Allstate customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
I've always believed that golf is more than just a game. It embodies integrity, commitment, and a sense of style. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa, and I'd like to tell you a bit about Naturewood Home Furnishings, a business that shares these same values. With the Procore Championship Professional Golf Tournament happening at the stunning Silverado Resort in Napa, I couldn't help but notice the parallels. Just like the game of golf, Naturewood has built its reputation on integrity, commitment, and timeless style. Looking to bring a unique style into your home? Naturewood offers custom certified designers who can help you craft the perfect look tailored just for you. And while you're enjoying the elegance of the tournament this week, along with Napa's world-class wine and food, be sure to visit Naturewood Home Furnishings. You'll discover pieces with the same sophistication and quality as the game itself. Who knows? You might even find an heirloom that will be passed down for generations. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Just look for the water wheel.
When is the best time to buy a new air conditioning system? Right now with Bell Brothers' end of summer clear-out sale. You'll get up to $2,700 off a top-of-the-line AC system. Plus, no payments or interest for 1 year for qualified buyers. Call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or go online to thenosurpriseguys.com because we only have a limited number of new top-of-the-line AC systems. And when they're gone, this offer is over. Need more info? Call us. Estimates and second opinions are always free. So call now for up to $2,700 off a new premium AC system. And no payments or interest for 1 year. Plus, if you call now, we'll throw in your choice of a free smart thermostat or indoor air purification system. But you have to call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or online at thenosurpriseguys.com. Remember, end of summer is the best time to buy and save on a new AC system. Thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
49ers with a needed win last night. One they needed to have after everything that's gone wrong this offseason. A real statement game for them. We'll get to that. Get to what they really knew about CMC and when they knew it in just a moment. First, this is new, so it's going to take all of us some time here. With the football picks this week for week 1, Drapes came up just short, I was ahead of him by one game. So that means he's got the punishment this week, which is working a word that we all together decide on that he has to work into an interview this week.
Yes.
And we have some suggestions here. And as I say, it's new. It's going to take some time because I don't think this is it. Here are the suggestions so far for the word that you have to work in to an interview. And he's a wordsmith. Remember?
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah.
Integration.
Okay.
Potentiometer, minions,
all right,
and pizza. I
like pizza.
I don't think it's going to be that tough.
Pizza.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I was having pizza last night, and I was watching the game.
That's easy. It's got to be like corpus colostrum or anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Who gets to decide? Is it you by yourself, Jay? You and Jay together?
Yes, and we would appreciate any feedback we get from the smartest listeners and viewers in radio. Like I say, it's new. No one knows. Well, what are we doing exactly? So I appreciate the help, but
that ain't it.
Pizza? That's nothing for a wordsmith.
Yeah,
like
that's a layup right there. That's I wouldn't even want to do that. Like if somebody said the word is pizza, I'd be like, nah, give me a different word. That's too easy. I'm not going to take the easy way.
So we're all working on it. We're all figuring it out here.
All right. Yeah. All right. Is there a deadline? Because I know we got a guest coming up later today.
You're not here Friday, right?
I'm not here Friday. We got guests tomorrow.
Would probably have to be the absolute deadline.
Yeah, we got to
maybe by the end of the show today.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we got a long ways to go.
Hey, if this is the only 4 we have, we got to roll with one of these. We just got to roll with it.
So Coach Woods and I was having pizza last night, and I was wondering, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
It's so easy.
I love it. Oh, somebody said, how about proliferate? Okay, we're getting there. Okay.
Sneaking up on it.
Yeah.
We got to see, are there any words that are hard for you to say? Probably not.
I mean, I'm a wordsmith.
Yeah, I know. You're a professional.
Yeah.
But thank you for the potentiometer is maybe a little, because it's a little awkward. That's, I think, the closest.
Extemporaneous.
Mm-hmm.
And then heavens to resin. I can't even, you got to look at the YouTube chat and see that. I have no idea.
Pneumo ultra microscopic
silicosis. I don't know.
That might be it.
Oh my gosh.
Huh. All right.
All right.
Thank you. We're on our way here. It's all new. We're all figuring it out. JP Mason, brand new. As we're doing the show here, we have ESPN on, and they were just showing some of the highlights.
Yeah.
We were just saying a little bit ago that Raheem Mostert used to have those holes, they were gaping holes, and he'd get right through there before he was even touched. And JP Mason is not as fast as Mostert, but he had a lot of the same thing last night.
He hit
the
that
ball,
hole.
and nobody near him. I think a running back in this system, you got to be able to get to the hole quickly, and you got to be able to read the blocks. Darren McFadden, I remember years ago, and I think it was the late great Greg Knapp, who was a quarterback here at Sac State. When he was the coordinator, I think it was, they used to run like a zone scheme there, and Darren McFadden he couldn't run in that system. He wasn't very good at it. He was more used to the more traditional downhill, here's the hole, you run through the whole scheme. And in this system, you're not sure where the hole is going to be necessarily. Anyway, JP Mason is very adept at boom, there's the hole, boom, and then making his reads and going.
Yeah, and I got to give him credit too, man, because, he sees the opportunity. Like, there was no timidness, no second guessing. Like, he got it and went with it, and a stellar performance from him last night.
Yeah, it was a great example of the integration of someone from the minions of backs that the 49ers have had. I mean, it was just like eating pizza last night. His potentiometer was off the charts.
Oh, I like how you did that. See? Does that count? Can I take that and use that as
No. My point is, these are not that difficult yet.
Right. They got to get better. They got to get better.
Do you think the NFL needs to look into CMC Gate any further? Do they need to think about taking action? Or is this a play
I mean, if you haven't right by now, I'm not going to make a big stink about it. Maybe it's a finger wag at Kyle Shanahan, like don't do that again. Don't let it happen again.
Drapes, if you were a fantasy player, though.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and you had CMC last night. Here we go.
Yeah, no, you're right. If you and that's the thing that's going
or
to
a gambler,
right? That's the thing that's going to move the NFL. If somebody got big money on CMC 2.5 touchdowns or more, it takes the over, and hour before the game, he's not playing. What the heck, And he knew on Friday. I could see the NFL doing something, but in terms of just a fine or okay, slap him on the wrist, don't do it again. Let's move on. I don't think it's like I'm not going to make a mountain out of a molehill, because I'm not the gambler. I'm not the guy doing it. I can see how some people might be upset and how it's important that's why you have the injury reports, but I'm not going to get too upset about it.
I think from the league standpoint, you're probably better off just, we'll tell them, we'll give them a warning. Hey, what you didn't do, don't ever do that. But I think the league benefits from just letting this, float out into the nothingness, right? They don't gain anything from making an issue of it.
Do they benefit by making an issue of it, or not? Like,
I don't see how they do, especially because what are you going to prove? Especially if the 49ers talk to Mason, and it's like, no, we followed the rules. We said he might play. We thought he might play. Right before the game time, we said he's not playing. He was on the injury report. What do you want us to do?
Right. It'd be different if he wasn't on the injury report or something like that. Yeah. He was questionable. And when you're questionable, what is it, 50-50, we said? So you go into the mind, you're better, whatever it may be, knowing he might not play. And he didn't play. So I hear you on that.
If they did know, Kyle Shanahan, pretty good liar, huh? Even last night. I didn't tell him.
He is pretty good.
Anything.
Yeah.
Maybe Bobby told him to fire him up.
He's pretty good at that. Yeah. He and our boy Matt Mayoko, asked the question, but you can't. He's like Teflon. He's moving all the time. You can't lock him down on anything. And so he did a good job last night. Did a good job.
My read on it was McCaffrey was probably okay because we hadn't heard anything from Matt Mayoko or any of the beat writers. But it sounds like the way they reacted last night, they just assumed that he was probably going to play.
Yeah, but the JP Mason and the way Kyle sold it was like, be ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I do think in their back of their mind, they probably didn't think he was going to play. I'm talking about the team, but they didn't let it on to reporters. Like to tell JP, it's not going to be a normal game. Your workload might be bigger. To me, he was questionable to doubtful, like leaning towards that way in order for them to give them that kind of, lesson, wording.
Compio hits the nail on the head once again. He says the gambling houses are the ones who are upset about the injury being reported so late. And in this case, the 49ers covered by a lot. It didn't really matter. But you could see how something like that, an injury involving a major player that might have been concealed by his team, how that could cause a problem for a league that is just heavily into business with, with the gambling.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that, it's all about gambling, and Compio is 100% right. And something you brought up earlier, fantasy, I because CMC didn't play, your boy was able to get a fantasy win last night, and the guy that I was going against maybe didn't see it in time and couldn't adjust his lineup in time. And so it's a huge impact that stretches far beyond just what we see on the field.
Yeah. And it was a great night for the 49ers. It's unfortunate that JP Mason got caught up in that after the game where he was asked about it. And he's like, I said something wrong. And that's why I don't like to talk to the media. The team should have protected him better from that. But speaking of fantasy, do you know how you did against Brendan this week in fantasy football?
No, I haven't checked. I
have no idea.
No, I lost to him.
Did you?
Yeah, but I'm about to quit the league anyway.
Why?
Because I got the last pick. How did I get the 12th pick? Come on, man. The 12th
Isn't it a
pick.
snake draft?
Yeah, but the 12th pick, you're not getting any of the studs. Like, I'm talking to bell cows, like the guys at the top.
So you got 12 and 13, right?
Yeah, I got 12 and 13. I mean, I could tell you right here. I'm looking at the matchup. He dusted me though. He beat me. He beat me pretty good. I got my team just isn't good. I'll keep it real with you. I think I got Swift. No, Montgomery was probably my number one pick, and maybe Garrett Wilson number two. Like, my team is not good. I just call it, like, when you pick 12, it's tough, man. It's tough.
It's a long season.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised he hasn't weighed in or talked any trash or texted me.
I know.
I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to bring it up.
He must have beaten you by a lot.
No, by like 30 or 40. He handled me. He got me. It's a long season, though, like you said. Long season.
More in the NFL when we come back. Elk Grove's own Adrien Ross,
Yeah.
former Cincinnati Bengal, the Mad Backer, will break down the 49ers win for us. That's up next on Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hey, Daydreamer. Did we catch you thinking about your dreams? With Wells Fargo Premier, a team can help you plan for them. So let's imagine your biggest dream. Not the easy one, the one behind it. The one you work towards every day and every night. Can you see it? Then we can help you plan for it. Ready to start planning for your dreams? You can at wellsfargo.com/getpremier.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
You guys got a new Honda? Well, it was like this. My mom was driving me to school when, bam, our car started smoking. My mom wasn't happy, so she called my dad and said, honey, if you value your life and our marriage, you will take care of this now. So my dad calls up Stockton Honda and was like, can you get me approved for a new car and save my marriage? And they're all, sure, Mr. Jones, we do this every day. And just like that, Stockton Honda to the rescue.
StocktonHonda.com. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Quick reminder, get your tickets for the Marysville Stampede September 14th and 15th at MarysvilleStampede.com. 49ers stampeding the Jets last night. With more on that, the Mad Backer. Been a long time since I've had the pleasure of talking to our next guest. Pride of Elk Grove in the great state of Texas now, Jay, is that right?
Yeah, H-Town representative.
Yeah, former Cincinnati Bengal, longtime NFL linebacker, the Mad Backer, Adrien Ross. How you doing, Adrien?
Hey, I'm good. I'm great. I'm fabulous, fellas. How you guys doing?
Good. We're glad to talk with you here. 49ers last night. Adrien, you being a defensive guru, what did you think? How did the 49ers slow down the run after they struggled with that so much last year?
Say how they slow down the run?
Yeah, how'd they slow down?
Stopping the run?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, those games like that I love. I loved having the New York Jet coach coming from San Fran. Those are the games I love. I couldn't wait to watch that game because I know he's over there like, I know everything they do over there. Here's what you guys have to do. And I did this on defense. And the same thing for the other side. We know him, and so as you saw, it was very physical, which I like that kind of game, and that's where the Niners really thrive at is they're a really physical team, and there's not a lot of physical teams in the NFC. Where the Jets, in the AFC, and you got to play physical over there. So for me, I wanted to see the wheels, and I was like, okay, hey, the Niners, because I've seen them go face Baltimore, which we saw last year. I said, watch when that AFC North comes to town. We're a little different. We're a little different when we show up, and then they whooped them last year. So I want to see if they're really ready to face that physicalness from the AFC teams, and they showed me that they could, and that's with the linebacker being out as well. But, that's what the Niners do. They have great coaching, great organization over there. But I was surprised that they sustained the physicality throughout the game. And, so that's how they're able to change it. Without Christian in the backfield, you had the undrafted running back 24 back there. And, he was doing his thing. A la to Shanahan's dad. You had all the same great backs in a system that, Terrell Davis, Mike Anderson, Portis, same similar type of thing where you got to come over here and they do a good job of getting the players in the house, in the building, and get them prepared to run their system.
Hey, Adrien, how did you think Aaron Rodgers looked last night?
Man, Rodgers looked a little, my guy looked a little, like he looked what we know he is, but at the same time, ball is different in today's game than when I played in terms of how they're playing and the reps that they get to get. And especially, like I said, when you're facing a physical team that really wants to take your head off now, and you get that game in that first game speed, I think they'll get better. I mean, we've seen his body of work for a number of years, so nothing I'm necessarily worried about, except for his movement now.
Yeah.
Now that he has that injury, I'm one that tore my knee, and it's like you come back from it, but, nothing like that. But it takes a while sometimes for you to really, or you might not ever be you again, and I think that's what he's going to have to work out. It looks like he's moving in the pocket. He didn't look as well as he looked before. And you could see that him and his wide receivers were definitely off.
Yeah, I remember. Wasn't that you played the Rams in St. Louis, weren't you, when you hurt your knee that time, Adrien?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yep.
remember that. Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Hey, the show on turf up there.
You mentioned the success the 49ers have running the ball, going back to Mike Shanahan's days, and they have so much success with the zone blocking. From a defensive standpoint, what are the challenges of facing a team that zone blocks like that? What makes that so effective for them?
What makes it so effective is I always call it it's just the continuity. They do a good job of making everything the same. Oh, we put someone in motion, we shift, and now this guy comes in motion. The last time he blocked you, you saw the use check when he escaped. Like they made it look like a lead, and they knew it was cover 3, and he funneled on out and kind of ran a little fake. I don't want to say it's a wheel, but he ran through, and since he was running for a route, hey, most teams, you ain't guarding the fullback.
Right.
Who's going to the fullback?
Right. Yeah.
So I love that they keep slapping you. I always say, I'm going to slap you on the right side of your face 9 times. And then the 10th time, nope, I didn't do it, but you thought I was going to do it. And that's their system. And I said, that's really tough to play against defensive-wise because they're so physical. And so it's like you have to be ready, but all the time you don't want to keep hitting this fullback when you want to get the tackle.
Yeah.
So they get to play your own mind against you, and the Niners do a great job of that.
Adrien Ross, Sacramento Sports Hall of Fame, Colorado State Hall of Fame as well, Athletic Hall of Fame. Adrien, when I looked at the Niners last night, one thing that showed to me was their depth. Weapons all around. We know about the star players, but no CMC. So what? JP Mason comes in. As a defensive coordinator, as a coach, as a defender, what do you draw up to try and slow down this Niners team?
Well, you're talking to me. Defensive mastermind that they need to hire, But no, I think, and then me especially, this is something real that I see. I was a run stopper. Like this is what I do. I shut down. So I saw a lot of things that they could do. I think one was right there on the goal line. So what I'll say is it's angles. Most teams don't understand the Niners are using a lot of. That's why they brought McCaffrey in. Same thing Stanford was running. Remember when he was running all that at Stanford? Mm-hmm. It looks like they get all these big old linemen, and all these defenses are doing, they keep lining their defensive linemen, the biggest guys on the field, they line them up square, and they tell them to fire straight ahead instead of firing in at angles. Against the Niners and teams that run the ball like that, you have to come in at an angle and not give the running back a hole. We saw all day 24 just running downhill.
Yeah.
Downhill, block down, run around, pull around, out the gate. You got to make them run sideways. And that's what the Jets didn't do. They couldn't make them run sideways. Quentin Williams, all these big guys, all these defensive names, all the money you're spending on defense, but it's the scheme and a technique that you have to use. And their D-line didn't do it. They lined up square all day. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're giving Quentin Williams a big old target. I don't care how big Quentin Williams, all the dudes are, you're lining them up to get knocked down like dominoes, rather than to get in and fill up gaps and take up space.
How about Brock Purdy? I know he wasn't really the story last night, and it looks like he's maybe becoming less of a story as people are realizing how good he is. But your view, how good do you think Brock Purdy was last night? How good do you think he is for this team going forward?
I still think that, I still have a question mark because I know how good the system is, so how much it relieves pressure from you when you have a good line, when you have a Trent Williams, you have the tight end, you have the wide outs, it makes life a lot easier. But, I think with him, it's more against your better teams that aren't letting you run the ball like that. Then now are you able to make those throws? And so I think he's doing fine, in terms of how long he's been in the league. He's developing nicely. But like for me, I'm still waiting to see. Still waiting to see. But I think he's really good. No, I'm not taking nothing away from what I've seen from him thus far. He's solid.
Yeah. Sounds like you, Kyle. He's not entirely sold on Brock Purdy.
Nah, you know what? It's funny because, Adrien, I was going to say, this whole people taking shots at Brock Purdy, to me, that's last year's. I don't hear much, and those Brock Purdy apologists will be every time he plays well. See, we told you he could play. I don't hear the same narrative this season about Brock Purdy like I do last season. But listening to you still got some question marks to this guy. My whole thing about Brock and that, upset me last season, you got some people putting him in the same conversation as Montana and Tom Brady. I got Brock Purdy as maybe a number 10, 11 quarterback in the league right now. And people look at me like it's blasphemous that I'm saying it. What do you think about Brock Purdy alongside some of the game's best quarterbacks right now? The Josh Allens, the Burrows, the Mahomes, the Daks. Where do you have Brock in that mix?
And Adrien, in case you can't tell, Kyle is an Eagles fan.
And I didn't even bring up my boy Jalen Hurts. I didn't even bring up Jalen Hurts. Didn't even include him. But this whole anointing of Brock is, I think, what has people, pushing back on this narrative about him.
Oh, yeah. I definitely think, in terms of just flat out quarterback wise, I would say he'd probably be in that third tier. I guess you put in past 10, that's like probably somewhere right in there, like 10 to 15, maybe, right there, 10 to 18 or so. Because again, like I said, you have a system, a system that that is fully functional, and you have a lot of weapons that they're paying. Like, you just look at I think they showed the graphic up yesterday where they have 2 of the top of positions, highest paid, and three, like the third highest paid and 2 others or so.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you have a lot of talent around you that can make you be a lot better. You know, so whereas you have some other quarterbacks that are good, like let's go back a few years ago when Houston Texans got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. Well, Deshaun Watson was one of the top 3 quarterbacks. Then he chose to stay there for whatever reason I said was stupid, and he signed the deal. Well, they gave you the money because they got rid of everybody. So now you got to run for your life. Now you're running for your life, trying to complete a pass. But you had that. Now when we look at him and he's in Cleveland, well, they have a line. Didn't look like they were blocking for him. So now it's one of those. This guy that used to be a top 3 quarterback. What's the problem now?
You're catching up with,
and I would say like that could be something that could be in the future for Brock. You know, when you don't have all these weapons, and that's how I look at it is, if I just put you in a vacuum and just said, you know, you don't have all these other things. What's your skill set and what's your talent?
Fred Warner missed a few tackles. Had a great game. He's phenomenal, but he missed a few tackles. I know it's week 1. Adrien, it seems to a lot of fans that tackling isn't what it used to be. And I shouldn't single out Fred Warner because he had a great game last night. You played in the 2000s around then. Is that accurate? Is tackling not what it used to be? And if it isn't, why do you think that's the case?
Oh yeah, I think it's nowhere near what it used to be because guys are afraid of penalties. You know, I mean, I think more so in the secondary than up front. You know, so Fred missing the tackles. You know, like I said, the Jets were another physical team. Bryce Hall is a pretty fast back. You know, he's actually has a lot of good speed for his size. You know, you had some nice players over there, but you know, Warner's one of probably the best in the game now. So he's going to, but I do think it's different. You know, and it's just different with all these penalties. You know, and guys, more so than the penalty, the guys don't want their pocketbooks getting hit. I think that's a big thing that they're not telling the public is some of these hits that aren't being penalties, they're fines to the player.
Wow.
You know, so it's a whole nother, like if you look up the list and see how many players were fined, it's a large number last year. So I think that's on the consciousness of a lot of the defensive players, you know, not losing any money.
Hey, Adrien, you know, we talked earlier, about the quarterbacks, and I mentioned Joe Burrow. What happened to your squad against New England? And are the Bengals sort of, maybe not who we thought they were this season?
Hey, yeah, that's definitely fair. You know, like they have to come out and show and prove because they definitely haven't sustained anything. They haven't sustained nothing over a number of years, like we just said that the Niners have done in terms of a system. You know, but we see that we see the contract disputes, guys not in camp, guys coming off the injury. A lot of sitting out, and in order to really, work on all cylinders, you got to be there. And I think just like you said, Whitey, with the tackling, I think that's another big thing. Practices aren't the same as like they were when I played. So half the practices, more than not, are walk around. They're jog around. So, like I said, first game, now you got to get out there. Jamar Chase hasn't even been practicing. Why is he even playing? Like why let him go out there for that? And Chase. So I think hopefully that was a part of it. But yeah, that was a big shocker. I think part of that, and then another part is underestimating who you're playing.
Do you think maybe
no one said anything about New England?
Do you think maybe, I know this sounds ridiculous on opening day, but the Bengals have the Chiefs coming up. Could they have even on opening day been looking past New England a little bit because they had Patrick Mahomes coming up?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you're definitely looking at that. And then, you have year one without Belichick. So now this new system of film, I think a lot too, you might have some overthinking.
Oh yeah.
So you only have, preseason to go off of. You have another quarterback. You have a lot of new pieces other than, hey, they're running the ball down your throat. That's not what's hard about that. So we have some question marks over there.
Adrien, joined by Adrien Ross, of course, Sacramento native. Adrien, we'd be remiss not to ask you about the Battle of Colorado that's coming up this upcoming week. I know Colorado State versus Colorado is a huge deal. You being a Colorado State Ram, what's your outlook on the game this week?
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I'm gonna be out there. We gonna be out there deep this year. Yeah, they're coming to our house, so I'm gonna see. I'm gonna be out there in a few days and see what it's looking like. But definitely. Obviously, we all know what Deion's been doing over there at Colorado. What he's been doing for college football. I saw the first game, all that new line that he wanted and brought in. Those guys didn't look that well either.
Right.
So they have the skill positions. Shador, I want to see what happened. I think they lost the safety. They had a couple other guys injured, which I think are key pieces to what they have. But on the other hand, Colorado State, we haven't really put up anything yet with the air raid offense yet. I haven't really seen the numbers and the points. But what I did see was last year they went out there and competed against Colorado, and so that's what I'm hoping for, and hoping that we get the win this time. I want that same physicality that we played with, without the late hits.
Hey, Matt Backer, before we let you go, as fans and in the media, we get carried away with every play, let alone every game. But it's only week one. I mean, can we draw any conclusions about anything yet, or is it really still just too early in this long season to really know what's what?
Oh, it's way too early. It's way too early now with these 17-game seasons and the short preseason. And I think that it's the first time I've looked at it like this, but it seems like they're almost now coming with the basketball approach. Basketball always is like, what do they mean the guys aren't in shape?
Yeah.
My day, you had to come in in shape, and you had to play and practice 3 times and 2 times. Well, those days are all over. And so I think you hear a lot about who's in shape, a lot of contracts, a lot of guys holding out. So definitely as the season goes on, we'll be able to see a lot more. So
yeah. Hey, speaking of basketball, you're not still a Mavericks fan, are you?
Of course.
Oh, come on.
I think I have to be, my boy Cuban, but I think
my boy Cuban.
I think I'm more of a Kings fan now. I think I'm more of a Kings fan right now.
All right. Yeah.
Hey, should we let him on the Kings bandwagon?
I was gonna say, I don't know if we got enough room.
Right.
Hold on,
bro. Now all of a sudden that we up, you like, I want to be.
I'm out here in Houston. Y'all got a Houston point guard. The Kings got a Houston point guard.
That's true.
Out there, Yeah, but no, I'm just a fan of good basketball. I love good basketball. I definitely like what the Kings are doing. The big center, I went to a few games, and I'm like, damn, the center is bigger than I thought. Like he's out there physical.
Yeah, well, it's funny because you talked about football. Sometimes, like in basketball, guys aren't in shape, and that reminded me of Luka. And then when I remembered Luka, oh yeah, Adrian's a Dallas Mavericks fan. I was hoping maybe you'd outgrown it, but yeah.
I saw Adrien out Adrien, what game was that? Was that a playoff game that we connected? What game?
Yeah, was that the Warriors?
I think it might have been Warriors game. Adrien was in the building,
okay.
supporting the Kings, but that's a second team, I guess. We'll let it be a second team.
There we go.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt Backer.
What's the other guard that plays D? What's the other guard that plays D too? I like the guard.
Our boy Keon Ellis.
Yeah.
I like him.
What's the Mavericks doing this year?
I think with the changes that they did at the trade when they got the other players.
Yeah.
I think that catapulted them to a whole nother. I wasn't really even watching them before. And then I was like, who they get? Now let me look at this. Oh, okay, we rolling now. Okay, what? TJ? All right.
Italian early.
Yeah.
But I mean the West, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, the West is wild West. So we never know.
Well, we hope to talk to you again real soon, Mad Backer. Thank you. It's great to catch up with you. We appreciate your insight. You take care, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Hey, I love it. I appreciate you guys.
All right. Yeah.
Keep it up.
Yeah. Thank you. The Mad Backer. He knows a thing or two about football. I think he had to dumb it down a little bit for him.
Yeah, a little bit. But he had Brock Purdy as tier 3.
I didn't hear
that.
Right
now.
Some of the stuff, that and the Maverick stuff is like, is he okay?
Right.
Is he all right?
He's a good dude, man. Good dude, funny guy, and that was good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how you feeling though? You know, he said it's way too soon, too early.
Well, you know, and we talked about this yesterday. What would it be like if the 49ers came up short? You know, with everything else that had been going wrong. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Just the negativity would have been maybe unwarranted, but it would have been out of control. And now it's like, look, we're all right.
Right.
For at least another week. Pushing that back and making everybody feel good about things again, mainly because of the way J.P. Mason played. And he played that well because the 49ers kind of scaled back the playbook a little bit. George Kittle said, Cal can make all these awesome plays. And the cool thing about Christian is that he can do all these cool things that no one in the world can do. But we really just ran the most simple outside zones all day, whether it was weak side run at Trent or Colton, or you had 2 tight ends out there, and we ran outside zone. It worked really well, and I was happy for that, said George Kittle.
Yeah, and let's call it, though, what it is. Kyle did make one play call, and we're like, what the hell is he? He got a little too fancy. Remember that trick play reverse on third down? I'm like,
it's possible I was outside or something.
I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Third down, trying to go for a trick play, but outside of that,
even my wife, she was going, What is that? What are they doing?
That was one of those, let's try this. It didn't work. All right, never use that again. We're not doing that again.
That's when the end around where Debo got it.
Yeah.
He already had like 5 guys right there.
5 guys. As soon as he got the ball, it was a wrap. The fact that he even, got, sort of close to the line of scrimmage was a miracle. But no, I thought he did a great job play calling last night, talking about, like,
I say he did such a great job. Not even TC can call him out today.
Exactly.
For his coach.
Not even TC. But the thing that surprised me the most about it, you lose CMC, so I'm like, all right, they're going to go a different direction. No, they still gave it to the running back. They still utilized the back 28 times for J.P. Mason. That's what shocked me the most. He stuck with it, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kittle said, going to the same play. Like, he stuck with it, and the Jets had no answers for it last night.
Yeah, it's more basic, right? We're going to run right at them.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting what Adrien said, and I never thought about how a defender lines up. When talking about, all right, it's straight, you got to get the gap, get the angle in there. And that's something I'm going to watch going forward because I hadn't heard it explained like that. And
He reminded me of something Eric Davis told me once. I was talking about Eric Davis about, like, who hit you the hardest ever. Do you remember, was it Dermanetti Dawson on the Steelers?
Dermontti Dawson? Yeah.
So he told me one time they're playing the Steelers. He was on Carolina at the time. And he says they run that zone, that outside, that zone stretch. And Eric Davis says, my job in that is to make them go sideways, stretch it out as far as I can. And he says, Dermontti Dawson comes out and he says, he just destroyed me.
Really?
Just leveled me. But he says, but I did my job. He had to take me out, and we extended the play
out.
Yeah. So everyone's running zone now, wide zone. And on defense, that's what you're trying to do is just keep them going that way.
Yes.
East-west instead of north-south.
Yes, exactly. So, no, they did a hell of a job yesterday. We're moving on, though. No need to talk Niners anymore.
Moving on to the 49ers.
Dang it.
When we come back, I'll tell you how they made NFL history last night. We have Drape's Takes coming up too, right?
5 o'clock.
Yeah, stand by for that on Sactown Sports.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Sacramento. Dirks Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Parmalee.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich.
Be the difference.
Dasha.
Did your boobs stop working?
And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Since you probably can't afford your own sports psychologist, Golf Monthly's Fergus Bissett offers 5 golf psychology tips to help you play better. First, stay in the present. If your mind is ahead of you, how can you focus on the shot at hand? Second, every shot is a new challenge. The objective of every shot is to get the ball in the hole in the least amount of strokes. Go do it. 3, the past is the past. Many of us dwell on the past. Not good. Clear your mind and move on to the next shot. 4, never surrender. Some give up on their rounds too quickly. Your fortunes on the course can change with one swing or one decent break. Lastly, stay positive on the greens. If you're having one of those days where the putts don't drop, focus on the positives. If you're putting on your intended line, that's a good thing. Keep it up and they'll begin to fall. And remember, it's a game, so go out there and have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa. When I want to stretch out after a long day, my sofa needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to look attractive and inviting when guests come to visit. I am Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. We spend so much time on our living room sofas that we forget they're a focal point and a hint to our decorating tastes. Right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings sofa sale, you can save on every sofa, including gallery-exclusive custom-ordered flex steel furniture. Whether you're interested in a new sofa, sectional, or recliner, you can choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics. Nobody has more styles and choices than Naturewood Home Furnishings. And when it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop Naturewood for the look you love at a price you'll love even more. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable sofa sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Are you looking for a new van for your business? Maybe you want to go out on a camping trip or even haul your kids and their teammates to their sporting events. Well, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has the Sprinter van just for you. It's fully customizable, and plus it has that Mercedes star right on the front, so you know it has the premium quality that Mercedes sedans and SUVs are known for. Give the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van a test drive at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton or go online at mbofstockton.com.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
Epic Airbee's on the chat. What's it going to take for Aaron Rodgers to move the potentiometer of his play to where it used to be?
Oh, I like that. I
think I've got a nomination, Jay, for a word that Drapes would have to work in to the interview because he came up bottom of the picks this week. Bumfuzzle.
Bumfuzzle. Is that even a word?
It is a word.
Origin, please.
I have no idea. I can tell you what it means. I don't know what the origin is.
What word is that? Latin or what is that?
It's a good question. I can use it in a sentence for you. It means to confuse, perplex, or fluster.
Well, I might use that during the season too.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Because
Except
of
you
the
got to
meaning.
say it. I mean, whoever you're interviewing is going to go, wait, what? Bumfuzzle?
Dude, I could.
But
do
if you
that
put
easily.
the context around it,
right,
yeah.
I got that
I mean,
easily.
you can't define it when you use it.
I can't.
No.
You can't say, "Oh, were you bumfuzzled or confused by blah blah blah?"
No, this is how I do it. You know, Oh, man. Kyle Shanahan's offense had them bumfuzzled. Those guys were confused.
Yes.
They were flustered.
No,
I can't. What do you mean? No. What do you mean? No.
You can't define it. The way you did it, you'd say they were bumfuzzled. That's good.
No, you had rules here. You had rules here.
Define it. No.
So you gotta see. That's a little tough, White, because you gotta.
It is tough
because he, in a normal setting, he's going to explain his question, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Like you're gonna say, you got
to get context to it. You
let
can't
it
just
ray,
let it out there and then not.
That's the whole
have
point.
anything.
You have to say it like, oh, it's a word everyone uses. Yeah.
I don't know if I would have agreed to these rules.
That's not necessarily the word yet.
Right.
So.
Okay.
I like it though. I like where you're going. I just think the description is a little too easy to get away with it. Because he could easily just be like you said, I don't know. Let's just say Reggie Thea is coming on tomorrow. Hey, Reggie, you had a lot of defenses bumfuzzled.
That's it. But you can't define it.
If you continue it, you put up 20 points, you play with Eddie Johnson, it's still.
Yeah,
I think you still can grab
I'm down
it.
for whatever, man.
I like it though.
I can work in anything.
Did you just look this up right now?
Yeah, I just looked up odd words and that popped right up.
Really?
See, now you got to do research to come up with a word?
Oh, yeah.
You trying to make this hard.
Just getting started.
Yeah,
bumfuzzle.
Spell it.
B-U-M,
fuzzle.
Okay.
F-U-Z-Z-L-E.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now.
You did past tense bumfuzzled. They were bumfuzzled.
Yeah. Man. Why you got to do it that way, though? Because I'm looking at Merriam-Webster. What's a synonym for bumfuzzled? Confused, perplexed, fluster.
Yeah.
Why not make it simple like that? You got to go bumfuzzle. You trying to embarrass a guy out here.
I know. That's tough because
that's the point.
What if, and I'm just using Reggie tomorrow, what if Reggie Theus comes on and he's like, what are you talking about, Kyle?
That's exactly what he wants. That's what he wants to have happen. I see how
what's bumfuzzled mean, man?
See how it is.
See, I've done this before where the rules were, if the person you asked, use the word on, if they say, what'd you say? Then you have to do it again.
Nah, you don't have to.
So what I'm saying is you're getting off easy here.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Years ago when John Lynch was on Fox, I was on a show where Dan Dibley's he's doing the interview and his word was marsupial. No, it's platypus. Platypus.
How do you work in platypus?
It wasn't very good because then he said something about, it's like a platypus out there. And John Lynch goes, wait, did you say platypus?
So he called it out.
So he had to do it again.
Drew attention to it.
Yeah, he had to do it for the next interview also.
All right.
Yeah, so you don't have to do that.
I'm not worried about it. I'm a pro. I can handle any word you throw at me.
We put this in the cap, the feathering cap, because when Drapes opens King season and one of the weeks he falls, he's at the bottom again, we need this on a broadcast.
Now you add that.
Yeah.
Let's
put this away, man.
How about this?
Keon Ellis, Katie, has the Raptors bumfuzzle.
I might use that, dude. That's a cool word. I might use that.
Yeah.
That's what Mark Jones does. He
does.
Opens the thesaurus and comes up with a word of the day.
Yeah.
I might do that.
Bumfuzzling. Was there anything? So is bumfuzzle and bumfuzzled? Is there any other past tense?
You could be a bumfuzzler, I guess.
A bumfuzzler.
Bumfuzzler.
Man, you're bumfuzzling.
He was a bumfuzzler last night.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, my gosh. Check out this word I just found. And maybe you saw this. Cattywampus.
I've heard that one.
You heard that one?
I've heard that one.
I never heard that.
Definition, please.
Cattywampus. Let me see here. The script is going badly, awkwardly, or in the wrong direction.
Oh,
cattywampus.
Yeah.
The script.
Yeah.
Jets offense last night was all
catty. That's a tough one, right?
Cattywampus.
That's a tough one.
I'm leaning towards that one.
No, the new rule is you can't find your own word. You can't find your own word.
Last night, the 49ers got a 200-yard passing game from Mr. Irrelevant. They got a 125-yard running game, or what was it actually? It was like 147.
47, yeah.
But 125 or more from undrafted Jordan Mason. They got a 50-yard receiving game from 2020 7th-round draft pick Juwan Jennings. They got an interception from Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles, undrafted. And according to OptaStats, the 49ers are the only NFL team in the Super Bowl era to get those levels of production from 4 players who were drafted 200th or later or not drafted at all, according to Pro Football Talk. And that's been one of the keys to their success.
Yeah.
Why they continue to flail with the high draft picks. It's the later draft picks that, man, they do a great job.
Yeah. And it's sort of like, the Warriors, of yesteryear, where you have the high-end talent, the high-price talent, but then you also have the surrounding talent, guys on minimums that really are huge for you. You look at your quarterback, about to make $1 million a year. You look at J.P. Mason, an undrafted guy. It's almost like whoever they plug in, especially guys that are hungry. That's why I give J.P. Mason a lot of credit. This dude, is a backup, depending on who you believe, got word he was starting, an hour or two before the game and came out there like, you know what, I'm the dude. He took advantage of the opportunity. And one, give Shanahan and the staff credit for identifying those players, but also it takes a certain type of player. To your point, last year they brought in, Chase Young. They brought in big name defense, and those guys really didn't pan out. But you get these young, hungry, undrafted or late in the round guys that come with a sense of hunger, a sense of drive. And when they get their opportunity, they take it and run with it.
And they play well, too. It's funny. Everyone talks about us. Ryan Clark was talking about it. Adrien Ross talked about it. Boy, you bring the level of physicality. They were physical, and they were. But that doesn't matter. You can be as physical as you want. If you're no good, it doesn't matter.
Right. They're physical and they're good. And, for 2 hours and 38 minutes, we've been hyping up the Niners. Ain't nothing else going on right now. I mean,
let me check.
I'm like Devontae Adams. I'm breaking out in hives here.
That's pretty much
positive, all this positive Niners talk. It's killing me.
Speaking of getting physical here, Jay Crowder, I know we touched on that. He's working out with the Kings. You're excited about the possibility.
No, I'm huge on this. I think Jay Crowder would be an excellent pickup for the Sacramento Kings. And here's the thing about Jay and whoever we wind up signing. Unless it's somebody in our top 6, 7, 8, you got to look for other ways this person can be impactful, and Jay Crowder comes in as maybe an 11th man, 10th man, something like that. But what he can give to a team, veteran leadership, a little dog in him, like his impact will far outweigh what you see in the box score. And he plays with a little bit of an edge. And I said this earlier, and I'll say it again. I was talking to him. We were sitting on the bench during pregame warmups in Sacramento, and I said, what do you think of this team? He said, I like y'all team. You got some young guys, but y'all missing a dog. And I said, exactly. That's exactly what I've been saying. I said, somebody like you, somebody like Patrick Beverly. And he is like, yep. And so I'm glad he's in town working out. I'm telling you, I think he would be phenomenal. And we've also been talking about who's our backup 3, who's our third string 3, who's somebody that can come in and fill that role. Jay Crowder can give you 10 to 15 minutes per night, and I think he'd be a solid vet on this team.
He's almost more of a 4 than a 3 now, huh? But he could play.
Yeah, in today's game. Yeah. My lasting memory of Jay Crowder is him checking LeBron James. When he was with the Celtics, Jay was with the Celtics. And LeBron is great. We understand that. He beats everybody. But Jay didn't back down. Jay wasn't, worshiping at the altar of LeBron James. He was ready for that smoke. And that's what I need. I need somebody to walk onto that court and say, you know what, LeBron, you may be great, but you're going to have to work for it tonight. That's the kind of guy that Jay Crowder is.
Hasn't played much the last couple seasons, but in 21-22 with Phoenix, he shot 35% from 3. The next year, 2023 with Milwaukee, shot 44%. And last year, 50 games, he shot 35%.
Okay.
That's not great, but that's above average.
Yep.
He's a shoot. He can shoot.
Yeah, he's a 3-and-D guy, and he's a little long in the tooth. I'll be the first to admit it. My guy's, been around for a minute. But, he's one of those guys that, came from Marquette, chip on his shoulder, got it from the mud, had to really earn everything he got. And he's exactly what we need. I think, when you look at the edge that he plays with, the culture that he brings, I'm all for Jay Crowder.
How old he is? He's
How old is he? 33?
34.
34. Yeah. But he
seems like he's older than that in a way.
Yeah, he's 34, but got a 40-year-old's body almost.
Yeah, and he's played for 34 different teams.
Yeah, right. He's bounced around. And remember, he was in Phoenix. I don't know what happened in Phoenix there. It was sort of a bad ending.
He was on a good team.
Yeah, it was a bad ending, his time in Phoenix. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but the fact that he's here in town working out, remember a few weeks ago we had Isaiah Thomas, Lonnie Walker IV, those kind of guys. I think Jay Crowder, to me, I like him probably better than all those guys for a fit in Sacramento.
Yeah, he's not going to let anybody come in and cattywampus you.
Huh? What was it? Exactly. I forgot what that means, but yeah, I'm all right. If you say it, I'm with you on that.
Jay, what do we have coming up? Sounds of the Niners?
We got Sounds of the Niners.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Post game.
You're going to enjoy this, Drapes.
Oh, I can't wait. Wait. Sounds of the Niners.
We got to put a name to it.
Yeah, so you got to come up with something better than that, Jay. Sounds of the Niners.
Well, look, I got to put the sounds together.
Oh, not the name of it? No, because it's not just 49ers, right? Or is it just 49ers?
It's all based around the 49ers, but we got Garrett Wilson in there a little bit, talking a little stuff and stuff.
Darn.
Yeah. It's all about 49ers.
Oh, my gosh. I got to listen to this.
Oh, what station do you work for? What station do you work
who
for?
paid the bills? Who paid the bills? All right.
I mean, look, I can slip in stuff.
I think we should be able to run that conference and smash the Cowboys.
I throw in tidbits for you, don't I? I try to at least hold you down a little bit.
A little bit. You do.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, this is what people been waiting for, fellas.
Yeah.
This is what a football season 49ers. So every single week to, give you the synopsis, we'll make sure the day after, of course, Sunday being Monday, and as we saw yesterday, Monday, today being Tuesday, we'll make sure that we bring you all the sites and I want to say sound. I mean, all the sites, but you can't see it, but all the sounds.
Right, all the sounds.
Yes, it is what it is, and whatever it is, it's next on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Another nice cool night coming up. Valley temperatures drop into the upper 50s. Wednesday will be windy with gusts to 30 miles per hour and highs in the mid-80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models, low payments, and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
I've always believed that golf is more than just a game. It embodies integrity, commitment, and a sense of style. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa, and I'd like to tell you a bit about Naturewood Home Furnishings, a business that shares these same values. With the Procore Championship Professional Golf Tournament happening at the stunning Silverado Resort in Napa, I couldn't help but notice the parallels. Just like the game of golf, Naturewood has built its reputation on integrity, commitment, and timeless style. Looking to bring a unique style into your home? Naturewood offers custom certified designers who can help you craft the perfect look tailored just for you. And while you're enjoying the elegance of the tournament this week, along with Napa's world-class wine and food, be sure to visit Naturewood Home Furnishings. You'll discover pieces with the same sophistication and quality as the game itself. Who knows? You might even find an heirloom that will be passed down for generations. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Just look for the water wheel.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Got the sourdough sounds coming up. I don't know. We don't have a name for it yet. We got that in just a moment. Jay has been working feverishly on putting together a mashup of the sounds of victory last night. And it's tough for Drapes. So we got to, break it up a little bit, give them a little
breathing room
moments of respite here and there. So real quick before we get to that, did you see that Commissioner Silver spoke today, and he says there wasn't a discussion of expansion at the week's meeting of the League Board of Governors, but he says it will be addressed at some point this season. So what? It's like, no, we didn't talk about it, but we're gonna.
Yeah.
What's
we're not ready yet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we all know it's happening, right? It's the worst kept secret in the world. The fact that there's not an NBA team in Vegas when everybody and their mom is trying to run to Vegas. We know Adam Silver and the NBA and most professional is all about the money. And that's an untapped market. And so we know it's coming. They'll announce something later this year.
NBA also expanding the permissible scope of coaches' challenge reviews on some out-of-bounds plays, saying today that if a foul should have been called on the play, it now can be assessed shortly after the fact.
What does that mean?
Yeah, if it doesn't make sense when you explain it,
right. Shortly after the fact, like 2 minutes, is that shortly later?
Well, what they can do then is, wait a minute, it's a Laker game. They're down 3, so we can call a foul on the other team.
Yeah,
make it closer.
Exactly.
We reserve the right to do that.
We'll see how it works.
Yeah, we'll try to make sense of it. Let's see. Jay, what are we calling this for now?
Somebody said Niners noise.
Niners noise?
That's somebody. That's getting better. Sourdough. Would you say sourdough? What?
Sourdough sounds.
Sourdough sounds? No.
Niners noise. Niners noise is leading right now.
All right.
You know what, fellas? We do so much. Maybe we should allow the fans and listeners to name something on this show.
Yeah. All right. Here it is. Listen and then name it for us. Thank you, Sactown Sports.
On me, right? You realize all of a sudden you're not there. We gotta go prepare, get better every week, every day, every rep, truly, because we're not there yet. They whipped our ass today, and that's the reality of it. And we got to find a way to get better. The great teams will bounce back from this, and that's what we plan to do.
How does that feel?
Fabulous, amazing. Can't wait to take it to the house.
What was the message from Coach after the game?
Just knowing what we can, what we're capable of doing.
I walked in, I'm like, damn, everybody.
Could you tell walking in that everything was good?
Oh yeah, I walked in, I'm like, damn, everybody is like laser focused. Everybody flying around. It's like not a lot of joking going on. It's like we got a lot of new players in the locker room that's already playing at San Francisco. At what we expect around here. So, looked at all the young guys and the draft and. Just like, damn, I obviously we had a good roster last year. I didn't know that they could improve it. But, I mean, in my opinion, we improved, and those guys are playing their butts off.
I don't like using the word surprise because I expect our guys to do so well. But I was definitely just happy with the maturity of this team, like you said, with all what people perceive as distractions and noise and for us to go out there and show that it really didn't bother us. And I felt like we did a really good job on offense of just being physical, and just kind of establishing our dominance on the offensive line. And I always love to see that.
We've been through a lot as a team. Yeah, I think it's good for us. We've been through a lot as a team, just with signing guys, trying to get guys back, Ricky's situation and Christian. There's a lot that goes on. It's the NFL, some crazy stuff can go on, but just our culture, our team, what we stand for and how we all come together and find ways to win and rally around each other. We do it right here. And that's something that I stand on and firmly believe in, and we all do. So, I'm very proud of the guys to be able to, fight through just all the adversity and stuff that we've been going through in the last however many months. But we're just going to keep pushing.
No, he didn't have a setback. I mean, it was on and off throughout the week. He was able to practice throughout the week. Just it was always bothering him to a degree, and sometimes it goes away, sometimes it comes back, and today was bothering him a little too much to where we didn't feel good about it.
Situations where if there's any going to linger over the next several weeks.
What's that?
Is there a concern that this is something that is going to linger over the next?
Always. I mean, it's been lingering the last few weeks, but it's getting better and better, and hopefully it'll be better next week.
In one of those situations where if there's any soreness pregame, you'll err on the side of caution.
Not any soreness, but there was too much soreness.
Actually, earlier today, got the news, and we went from there.
When that happens, are you told, like, hey, you're going to have to perhaps line up more in the backfield? You're going to have the ball in your hands a lot more?
Yeah, Kyle came to me. He was like, you're going to contribute a little bit in the run game. And, me, I'm all for whatever helps the team win.
What do you think of Jordan Mason's performance today, 147 freshman year?
It's kind of no surprise for me. The way he's been working in camp and, the way how hard he run, he's going to break tackles, and that's just like the standard of our team. And, he came out here and had a great day.
Man, dude, I told B, man, this is just the first start, man. So we know how long this journey is going to take us, and just one game at a time, man. It just means a lot to have the boys back together, have the band back together, and we had a hell of a concert tonight.
Were you surprised you guys did put up 30-plus against this defense tonight?
No, I'm never surprised with our offense and, the position our defense put us in. On the other side. I agree. Yeah, I think having him on the other side is going to open up a lot of things for all the guys rushing. And Malik played an awesome game in the run, and he's a great vet to have. And me and him are gonna work really well together on the left there.
Having a consistent special teams, whether it's your punter, your kicker, your long snapper, whatever that is, it takes a lot of pressure off of your offense and off your defense. And so I think our guys played really, really well tonight. Our special teams all played great. Jake Moody, 6 for 6. I love that. Really happy for him. He was really disappointed that Michigan got their tails kicked by Texas. And so for him to go out there and not, have a college hangover from that and go 6 for 6, I loved him for that.
Probably for the distance, yeah. I mean, that's the difference with Jake. He does have a big leg, and I get a number and where we can attempt it from, and I don't really think much different of it, whether it's 50 or 47. I don't think it's too big of a difference for him.
Are you called a pretty good game. What did you think of the game he called?
Called a great game. I love the way that he, approaches the preparation, the way that he leads our group, and ultimately, goes out there and calls a flawless game. There's things to clean up on our side as players execution-wise, but I'm proud of the way that we fought.
How much did you about that touchdown catch back in the end zone by Brock? It looked like a dime.
It was a dime. Sick.
Get him next week?
For sure. Overall, how did you feel physically?
We could all probably do a little bit better at just with my. I thought, there's some things that we could all probably do a little bit better at, just with myself included, just the live speed and having everybody in together, tied together with everything, shifts, motions, operation, going against man coverage, finding ways to get open and being on time. Like there's just that the sense of urgency that I think that we can be a little bit better with. I think we found that as the game went on, but definitely feel like we could all still get better. So
game, everybody across the board. Hey guys, hell of a job, man. All right, fun game, everybody across the board. How many runs do we get? 37 runs, guys. Hey, awesome job, man. Hey, guys, hell of a job, man. We got Minnesota. It'll be a very quick turnaround. You guys get your rest. Take advantage of tomorrow. Appreciate you guys. Awesome game.
Hey, man. All work, no luck. This is only beginning. Hey, now it's on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow. Who's got it better than us? Kyle Draper. Poor Drapes right away. You recoiled. I realized it was because of the Bang Bang 9.
Yeah. I had to listen to 5 minutes of that. And, it's funny. Like, I'll be sitting with my daughter and we're watching TV sometimes. And she's 12 years old and she hates to see people kiss. And so she does this thing where, the same way I felt, listening to that. It was like that was tough to listen to.
It was great, Jay.
You're gonna learn today.
Yeah. And thank
That
you,
was
Nick,
tough, Jay.
Nick and Lodi, who came up with Niners noise.
That was noise. That was some noise.
Good noise.
Yeah. Yeah. Pleasant noise. Drapes takes.
Yes.
Coming up next. Drapes has some thoughts on the game, apparently. I wonder what they will be. We'll find out next on Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Experience a golf tournament as refined as you are. The Pro Court Championship at Silverado Resort, September 12th through the 15th. Be there as the best of Napa meets the best of the PGA Tour. With world-class wine experiences, breathtaking views, and incredible golf. It's like this weekend was made for you. The Pro Court Championship, September 12th through the 15th. For tickets, go to ProCourtChampionship.com.
When it comes to fighting for families and protecting kids, no one works harder than our Assemblyman, Josh Hoover. A member of the Bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus, Hoover has worked across party lines and proposed tougher penalties for fentanyl crimes, stricter sentences for drug trafficking near schools, and RILA's law to make sure anyone who abuses a child is held accountable. A former school board member, Josh has fought to support school police officers, prohibit homeless encampments near schools, and increase funding for school facilities. Josh Hoover knows that families have been paying more for everything from gas and groceries to utilities and insurance. In the Assembly, Josh is working to provide relief to families, reduce the cost of housing, and stop Gavin Newsom from raising gas prices even more next year. Josh Hoover is making a difference for our families, our community, and our future. Our voice, our Assemblyman, Josh Hoover.
Paid for by Hoover for Assembly 2024.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Gibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Drapes takes are coming right up. Before we get to that, local update here on the A's playoff games and Sacramento story. The great Chris Biederman with the story in the Bee today. Perhaps you've seen that, secb.com. Should the A's make the playoffs, there's no guarantee the postseason games will be played at Sutter Health Park. We talked about that. SI.com broke the story. A team source confirming to the Sacramento Bee today, new ticket buyers are being told that such jewel events, playoff games, or all-star games are not guaranteed to occur in the Capital Region because of Major League Baseball's stadium requirements for premium events.
Really? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
That changes everything, right? That it's understandable then.
Mm-hmm.
That it's no guarantee that, unless the upgrades come, majorly here quickly, there's no guarantee that the games would be here.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it's understandable. I mean, you're talking the playoffs here. You're talking national TV. You're talking, October baseball. And, if you're a Major League Baseball team, you want to put your best foot forward. And right now, 14,000, let's just call it what it is. It's not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not there.
Yeah, so that's the latest on that. Right now, it's time for the latest from Kyle Draper. This is Drapes Takes.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down. Take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
All right, Niners fans, I hear you. I've been checking in my mentions. You've been tweeting at me. You've been sending Instagram memes and everything like that. I'm watching the Niners game, got my kids with me and everything, trying to enjoy a good Monday night football game. I was excited for this game. Aaron Rodgers back, Niners first game. Jordan Mason, JP Mason scores a touchdown or does pretty well. Somebody tweets at me, "What did I tell you about Mason Drapes? My YouTube handle is Kitchen Handy. Told you, bud." Then somebody else, a couple minutes later, "Draper is such a hater." Niners fans, let me just say this to you. I'm not a hater. I'm a realist. And watching the Niners last night, it made me think of one thing. Jay, clip this, because it won't be said ever again, big fella. I won't be giving the Niners this much love. The Niners sort of remind me of the Boston Celtics. And here's why, Whitey. Not necessarily the best team, or they're off to a great start, or they're going to win a championship. But when I watch the San Francisco 49ers, sure, they got some high-profile skill positions. Debo and Ayuk and Brock Purdy. But what makes the Niners great isn't necessarily the skill guys. It's the force in which they play with. When I watch the Niners, Fred Warner and those guys, everything they do is with force. Sort of like the Boston Celtics. When the Celtics come into Sacramento, it's like, what hit us? Like, they play with a different level of force. So as I watched that game last night, I think the Jets are going to be a fine team. Like Jay said, 8-9 wins. I got them at 10 wins. But the difference between those two teams last night wasn't talent, Whitey. It wasn't talent, Jay. It wasn't coaching, Niners Nation. It was the force at which they play every single possession with. And it's going to take a yeoman's effort to beat the Niners, meaning either A, they won't be on their game, or B, you got to have a special player a la Patrick Mahomes, or you play with that similar force. And I don't know if anybody can. I'm watching Fred Warner running around, slapping the ball out, punching the ball out, barking. I'm watching JP Mason hit the hole like never before. I'm watching Debo Samuel always making the first guy miss, always breaking a tackle. I'm watching the line play, the defensive line get after it as well. Leonard Floyd, my gosh, he looked great. Bosa, they look like a wild pack of animals on every single possession. And that's why I look at them sort of like I do the Boston Celtics. When I watch Jaylen Brown play, if you match up with JB, you're going to wake up the next day having felt it. If you play this Niners team, you're going to walk away with like stars above your head, sort of like the cartoon, Wile E. Coyote and them, the Road Runner, all those. That's how it is playing the San Francisco 49ers. And so when I look at them, and trust me, I'm an Eagles fan, and for some reason we ain't talked much about the Eagles' big win Friday. But the Eagles.
That was last week.
Dog, but we didn't talk about it yesterday that much.
Jay takes. I'm backing up.
Yeah, back up, big fella. When we have Jay takes, you can come in. But these are my takes. But when I look at my Eagles, we're almost a finesse team outside of Saquon Barkley, outside of A.J. Brown. Like, Jalen Hurts, you got to deliver the blows, big fella. You got to play with passion and force. I don't think enough is being made about the Niners' force in which they play in, the swagger in which they take the field. They're big bullies, and they dare you to try to match them, and there's not many teams that can do it. That's Drape's takes right there. That's right. So I'm not hating on the Niners, but I've come to the realization that, sure, on paper they have the best roster, but this team is so much deeper and better than just the star players. It's the swagger, the attitude. Like, trust me, Jay, I hate seeing Debo and Trent coming down the tunnel with the boom box, playing Not Like Us or whatever the hell they playing. I hate it. But if I was a fan of the Niners, I would love it. I would say, that's my squad.
Come on over, brother.
I'm right. It ain't happening. It is not happening, Whitey. But I can see why the Niners are so good. It's not just because they have the best players. It's they play with an edge, man. And I've always told this story. Rick Pitino, he has this saying, you got to play with your PhD. You got to remain poor, hungry, and driven. And that's what I see from this Niners team. When they get in between the lines, they play poor, they play hungry, and they play driven. And it takes an all-time great, a la Patrick Mahomes, or somebody else to match their physicality to beat them. Mike Brown preached all last season, Sacramento. We got to play physical. We got to make teams feel us. Well, the Niners do that week in and week out. And when they don't, a la Cleveland Browns, a la Baltimore Ravens last year, that's when they get beat. They won't get beat on talent, Whitey and Jay. They're going to get beat if they don't bring that edge. That's all I got, fellas. That's Drape's Takes. Jay, who's Drape's Takes presented by?
By Alsco Uniforms. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms.
Drape's Takes, two things. First of all, you said we didn't talk much about the Eagles.
We didn't, did
right?
We? Yeah.
Yesterday, when I said, hey, your Eagles look good, you know what you said? I said, your Eagles look pretty good.
What I said?
You know what you said? Did they? That's what you said. That's what you said.
I want to do a deep dive, though. I want to look at the all-22s, the Pro Football Focus grades, the drive charts, that kind of thing.
That's the WIP, baby.
Right.
Yeah. Then the other thing, it's funny you said the 49ers remind you of the Celtics, and I get where you're going.
Yeah.
Today, I was thinking about the 49ers, and in a way, they remind me of the old Spurs because one of the ways that team stayed so good for so long is they come up with those draft picks. Like, where'd that guy come from?
Yeah, that's true.
49ers are good at that. However, the difference is when the Spurs got a really high draft pick, they converted it to Tim Duncan or David Robinson. The 49ers,
right.
when they got
Trey Lance. Right.
So
there's a little difference there. There. But you see what I mean? Like,
I do.
They hit harder. They run harder. They block harder. Like, their effort level is just at a different level than a lot of teams out there, I feel like.
I think that's reflected in the yards after catch.
Yeah.
They're always one of the leaders there.
Yep. And you look at the personnel, we know how skilled CMC is, Debo, but those guys aren't trying to avoid tackles. They're trying to run through guys. Like, Debo amazes me. I'm not a Debo fan. I'm not a Debo fan.
But you are an Ayuk fan, right?
Yeah, I like Ayuk. Ayuk's my guy. Because he's humble. Well, at least he seems it. I don't know now after getting his big contract. But with Debo, I watch him. We talked earlier about the reverse play that they did, which was a terrible play call. But Debo made something out of nothing. That should have been a 10 to 15-yard loss. Instead, it was just a 6-7-yard loss. Because
I think they ended up losing like 3.
Yeah, 3, right?
And
okay,
then, and that's when they were on the edge of field goal range, too.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. But without Debo making the first player miss or not break, like, it takes 2 or 3 guys a lot of times to bring him down. Like, that's some, intestinal fortitude, just that fight that they have. That's impressive to me.
Kyle, you don't want to admit it, and it's okay, but you're becoming a 49er
Not at all.
fan. I
told
can hear it. I can feel it. It's okay.
Whitey,
I know you're going to push back, and I understand that. It's all right. But deep down, you're starting to see it.
Just an unbiased journalist. That's all I am. Unbiased journalist. Call it like I see it.
Yeah. When we come right back, I think we might be in lockstep on some of these 3 best things about the 49ers opening night win next. Coming right back with that on Sactown Sports.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. With the kids back in school, now is the perfect time to go buy a new Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV. I have one, and I love it. And I'm not the only one in my family that loves it. My 12-year-old daughter loves it. In fact, just the other day when I was about to drop her off to school, she said, "Dad, are we taking the nice car out?" And I said, "Yeah, honey, we're taking the Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV." She was so excited to ride in it, and she was so excited to show it off to her friends. She loves the fact that it has seat cooling, seat massaging, and oh yeah, extra room in the back seat for all of her friends. If you don't believe me, just see for yourself. Go test drive one now at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. You'll see how the car drives, the comfort it has, and the speed it has on the open road. Just head on down I-5 to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton or online anytime at mbofstockton.com.
As a mom, I'd do anything to keep my child out of physical pain.
Dr. Pamela Maida is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon.
As a doctor, I know that growth spurts can cause pain in my child's feet, and that can affect their legs and back too.
Good Feet Youth Arch Supports are designed to alleviate, even eliminate common pain.
Investing in youth arch supports for your child or teen is one of the best decisions you can make.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Progressive presents Renters MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
When an overwhelmed injury victim calls Ashton or Price, we immediately remove their legal burden and introduce them to the very best medical care in the region. They focus on their health and we handle all the rest. When they reach the end of their medical journey and are reunited with happiness and hope, we unleash our decades of legal experience to obtain maximum compensation. We are real, local, experienced litigators and snappy dressers too. Consultation's free, and there's never a fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Sacramento, Dierks Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends. Parmalee. Tyler Rich. Dasha. And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
Live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Chat comment of the day nominee. And it's late in the day, so this is the odds-on favorite to win. Compio says the Drive's 49er Fan of the Week award goes to Kyle Draper. Congratulations.
Nah, Compio. Don't even do it.
Congratulations.
Not a Niners fan. Just I recognize good football play. Call it like I see it. Not a fan. Not a fan. Although, out of the two of us, I'm the only one that owns a Niners jersey.
Yeah, but didn't you buy that because you lost a bet or something?
I did. Wore it once, never wore it again.
You still have it?
I do. It's somewhere at the house.
You gotta give it to your kid.
Why? He's not a Niner. Well, I guess.
You said he was.
But no, remember, he could only wear one jersey, and it ain't Brock Purdy. Ayuk. That's it. That's it. So
okay. I had the 3 best things about the 49ers opening night win last night, and they're right there,
right
with what you just said.
Okay.
Because played physically was one of the three, I thought. And don't you think that this team, and maybe it's because it's West Coast and maybe it's kind of an outdated notion, but I do think there's the idea that the 49ers are kind of, Randy Cross years ago called it the wine and cheese fan.
Yeah.
Kind of finesse. They're viewed as a finesse team. And this team is not.
And
when they're at their best, like last night, they're definitely not.
Right. No, it's a different team. They're not if you punch them in the mouth, they won't punch back kind of team. They're the ones doing the punching first.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Jets could match that last night.
And it all starts up front. Stop the run and run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And they ran the ball very well, and they stopped the run. And that's going to be one of the keys to them actually being better than they were last year. The defense has to be better. That after the Jets moved the ball down the field so quickly for the first touchdown, I was thinking, bring back Steve Wilkes. Where's Steve Wilkes? That wouldn't have happened under Coach Wilkes.
Right. They did carve them up like Swiss cheese. They shredded them big time.
Yeah.
But Sorensen supposedly called a perfect game yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what some of the guys said afterwards. So.
This is another thing I think you've been saying. Another one of the three best things to me is they showed depth last night. I think you've commented
Yes, depth at all the positions too. I mean, both line play, running back, wide receiver. Let's not forget, no Ricky Pearsall. You add him in the mix. And then I forget how good Kittle and Juszczyk is even gashing teams, with a few receptions. And so they're going to be hard to stop, man.
Yeah, it's like Adrien Ross told us, teams don't cover the tight end. He'd be wide open and they throw to him, and then they still
don't cover him.
We don't cover the tight end.
Yeah, that was impressive. They had so many weapons. The Jets were just bumfuzzled out there. Really.
I see you, baby.
I just dropped it in. Does that count? Can I be done now?
Survey says no.
Right, dang it.
But obviously, you use it that easily.
That just rolled off the tongue there.
We're not using bumfuzzle. We got to go with something else.
I know. Can't use that. That's too easy.
And then I mentioned they stopped the run. But the depth is so impressive because a team with that high of a payroll and they're paying their best players so much money, you shouldn't, just the math dictates you shouldn't have much depth.
Right.
But again, they have so many guys that were undrafted or drafted very low that are productive that you can afford them.
Yeah, they're in good shape too, man, and everybody's locked up. This season, no contract issues. Sure, they're gonna have to pay guys next season, but they look to be a problem. I'm still not going to say go back on what I said last week about the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, but the Niners going to be a tough out.
You broke that poor Eagle fan's heart. I forget his name.
Oh,
I
yeah,
apologize.
yeah.
I got it called.
Yeah.
You broke his heart. He's like, you're an Eagle fan. How can you give it to the Chiefs already?
Because Whitey, we've been working together a year now. I'm not biased when it comes to my picks and takes. And when I am, I admit it, right? I admit it, and I watching that Chiefs team, because it hit me like they are a better team this year than they were last year. And so might the Niners be too, which is crazy to think. They might be a better team than they were last year as well.
Mm-hmm. So here's the final numbers on our picks for just week one, just early in the year. How about Jay? Jay, I got you for 9-4-1.
Excuse me. That'd be no, you're right.
That's Jay for week one.
What you mean 9? It's 10. The Niners I picked last night.
That's why I asked. That's why I asked. I wasn't sure I had it right.
With the sauce on the side, sweet and sour and barbecue.
10. It was 10. All right. Yeah, because he was 3 games clear. 10-4-1 against the spread on opening.
That's pretty good.
It's really good.
Or
really
good guesses.
Lucky.
That's what I was about to say. He got lucky. Those guesses turned out right. Yeah.
He was the only one of the three of us who picked the Cowboys, though. So
yeah, he got that right.
Yeah,
hey, we got to do it
Steelers.
Thursday this week too, because I'm out Friday, so we got to get it on record Thursday, and we can include the Thursday night game too.
Yeah,
so.
Y'all gonna need it.
Yeah, I rallied late, got the last 3 games, whatever it was, just to finish at 500, and then Drapes last night. The Jets let you down, and you finished 6-8. So,
damn, 6-8.
I mean, you're 1 game under 500 opening week.
Yeah, that's true. I got to see where guys shake out.
Nobody
see
has
how
any
things
idea, except
look.
Jay. No one has any idea what's going to accept.
Right.
The great Jay. Yeah.
So we got to still come up with a word. And we got guests tomorrow. I don't know if I got to use this word tomorrow.
Yeah,
but
probably tomorrow. Thursday.
Yeah, I'll be ready.
Cattywampa, what was the one?
Cattywampas?
Cattywampa? Yeah, Wampus? I forget what it was. Cattywampas?
Spell it, man.
Hold up. I gotta go back. Cattywampus. Catty.
Cattywampus.
Cattywampus. Cattywampus.
And what does that mean again?
Oh man,
the script is something about the script.
Oh, off script.
Yeah, it doesn't go proper.
Yeah, it's. Oh my gosh, it's hard to find here. Hold on for a sec. Confused, perplexed, fluster.
Just like we are about this word.
Yeah. Oh no, that's bumfuzzle. How did that come up in cattywampus? Like that's crazy. Like I scroll down and right, it's like, oh man, cattywampus definition. I can't find it anymore. Can't use that word, fellas. Can't use that
That's
word.
the word, right, Jay?
Can't use that
Might
word.
be it. Might be the cattywampus.
The word.
Yeah, we might go
It's
cattywampus.
a variant of catawampus.
Sure.
Which is what?
Fierce, savage, destructive. That's what it is. Yeah.
Fierce, destructive, and savage.
destructive,
Okay. So basically, he's a dog.
Yeah.
Is
Catawampus.
Is it a noun or is it an adjective or
Adjective.
Right? Yeah, I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it can be catawampus can be a noun, an imaginary fierce wild animal, or an adjective, fierce, savage, destructive.
Yeah, so you got options.
I
You
got
a number of ways you can.
That's the Niners defense.
Yeah.
They were catawampuses. You know, that's
all right. So Reggie,
We might. Hold on. We need. We're getting a secondary meaning here. Definition.
Yeah.
What? Give me all the definitions. What are you looking at? Merriam Dictionary.
Merriam-Webster.
Okay.
Catawampus, because cattywampus is like a variation of it.
Ah.
An imaginary fierce wild animal, fierce, savage, destructive. It says. And cattywampus,
and that's the word, cattywampus.
Variant spelling of catawampus.
I see where you're going. So it's cattywampus and catawampus.
Yeah, sort of the same thing. But
yeah.
What do you got, Jay?
I like
cattywampus. Is better.
Cattywampus. Yeah, cattywampus is a little bit better.
Yeah. So if you say catawampus, it doesn't count.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Come on. Cattywampus. All right, I can do it.
Catty.
With my boy Reggie Theus too. Reggie will get it. He'll be like, "Oh, drapes! I remember that word. Yeah, that's a good word," or something like that. So I could do that.
Yeah.
You gonna use Reg as the guinea pig?
Yeah, that's yeah. Yes, man. He's gonna be like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
I can see that point, Reggie. When you were here, you guys made the playoffs the first year. Then after that, things went totally cattywampus. Would you agree?
Right. Do I have to use it in its proper context?
Yes.
Ain't just throw it out like a nickname or something. Nah, man.
Oh man. All right. Okay.
DeMar DeRozan cattywampus, aka like no.
How about this? 5-3-0. The Kings need someone who got that cattywampus in them.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Jay Crowder.
Yeah.
Cattywampus. Right.
See, that's not it. That's why it sounds crazy. Like I get where they're going, but yeah.
Oh man.
All right.
All right.
Let's take a quick timeout.
Quick
shall we?
timeout.
You want to hear from DeMar DeRozan?
Of course. Anytime, my boy.
You need a little break from 49ers.
Yes.
A little bit.
Above the noise, DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
Got it right here.
Don't forget, we also have the Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz.
I'm ready for that.
That and more coming up. So we'll hear why DeMar DeRozan came to Sacramento next on Sactown Sports.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America NA.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
When shopping for a new car, what do you want? A great selection? A low monthly payment? More for your trade? At Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, you get it all.
Model year-end savings are going on now. It's savings you just can't say no to.
Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Number one claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's L1 report.
It's the home opener for Sacramento State Hornets this Saturday, 6 p.m. kickoff versus Nichols. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
Hi, welcome to Staples. Hi, I hear Staples can print everything for my business. Sure can. And the quality is guaranteed? Absolutely. Plus, you'll beat any price quote. Is that right? For sure. How about this one? We'll beat it. Can you print menus, signs, and flyers? Sure can. How about blueprints? No problem. What about red prints? Not a real thing. What if they were? We'd print them, and they'd look amazing.
Now at Staples, print more, save more. Up to $150 off your print purchase. Ends 11/2. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details and staples.com/price match for in-store price match guarantee.
Progressive presents Renters MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super-rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Get your tickets for the Marysville Stampede, September 14th and 15th at MarysvilleStampede.com. Have what I think is a little more clarity on what's going on with Christian McCaffrey on Twitter from Dr. Nirav Pandya, who is, I think, is an orthopedic specialist in the Bay Area. I've exchanged communications with Dr. Pandya. He knows what he's talking about. Here's what he tweeted. Achilles tendonitis in Christian McCaffrey. Tendonitis, inflammation of the structures that connect muscles to bones. The goal is to prevent this from progressing to tendinosis, in which the collagen in the tendon begins to break down, degenerate, or progressing to a complete rupture of the tendon. You know who has tendinosis, which is the degeneration of the
breakdown?
Anthony Davis. He was diagnosed with that a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
He's still been playing.
He's still good, though, right?
Yeah. And I don't know if that's something that's reversed. But anyway, and I don't know where he gets his information other than he's a doctor and he knows these things. Apparently, Christian McCaffrey dealing with tendonitis in the Achilles, which you have to rest. You can't just play through it or the whole thing just goes cattywampus, which is not acceptable, for them right now.
Is that the proper use of
Probably
it?
not.
I don't
it's
think
okay.
so.
I don't need to use it properly.
I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it.
A lot of us have been bumfuzzled by the whole
Right.
situation.
All right,
like, what's
okay.
going on?
I give you that. You can do that. You can do that.
So according to Dr. Pandya, you got tendonitis, and they got to make sure it doesn't get any worse.
Right. Okay. All right. It sounds like just rest, right? Like, stay off it kind of thing. And with JP Mason running the way he is, you can get away with it for a few games.
Mm-hmm.
You got Minnesota coming up. And so, on that turf, I don't know if you want to throw CMC out there.
Right. Now, there's also a couple of big basketball books coming out today. Yeah. One of them is Jason Tatum and Sam Apple.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Baby Dunks a Lot.
Yes.
So that's coming out today.
Talking about, sort of inspired by, him being a dad and his son Deuce and everything. It's a children's book, I believe, right?
Yes. So that's out today. And DeMar DeRozan's book.
Above the Noise by DeMar DeRozan. My Story of Chasing Calm hit bookstores today. Got a copy of it right here in my hand. And from DeMar, it says, Above the Noise tells my story like it's never been told. Many know me from my time on the basketball court, but there's so much more to discover. You'll read about his full life journey up to hardships, celebrations, and all. I hope I can inspire people to rise above the noise and not suffer alone. Can't wait to dive into this, DeMar DeRozan's book.
He says, as men, we don't talk enough about our mental health, especially, he says, as African-American men, right?
100%. Yeah, this is something that connects near and dear to my heart, and hoping to connect with DeMar on this throughout the season as well. But, I was talking with somebody from the Kings organization today, met with them, and one of the things I remarked is he's going to do great things on the court, but I think he's going to have an impact and inspire people off the floor in Sacramento. And so I can't wait till this guy gets started. He's on a book tour right now, doing making the rounds or whatever. But I can't wait for him to get the sack here.
He was just on Podcast P with his buddy Paul George and explained to Paul George why, DeMar DeRozan explaining why he ended up coming to Sacramento.
No, I think I was just looking for an opportunity just to win at a high level, wherever that was going to be. I think coming out of last season, that was kind of like my view and my approach on this upcoming season. So everybody knew I'm in a place where I just want to win. I let the cards play out in a way to where, all right, let me see what landscape of what is going to win and where I could be a part of that and help with that. So SAC came about and they were showing interest. So when I sat back and looked at it and analyzed the team, great players, great coach, and I just always remember the last couple of years of always seeing them light this damn beam and winning and all that.
They got a movement over there for sure.
How about that? Paul George, They got a movement over there.
We got a movement going on right here. And it's true, man. And I read today that the Lakers were interested. Philly was interested. I think Miami was interested as well, but he chose Sacramento. That's huge. Like, this is the biggest free agent we've had signed here in Kings history.
I believe at one point he had to tell Paul George that he had to wait to see what Paul George did.
Right.
Right. Where I had to wait and see where you
where's
went.
PG going, and then make a decision. But I think this guy's going to be perfect for us. He's going to bring us 20 plus points per game, his leadership, and the fans are going to love him, man. I'm excited about
I wanted to put him in my top 40, and you guys wouldn't let me.
I'll let you do 41, but you got to at least play a game, and not just preseason. Now, we're less than a month away from the preseason.
How about
too.
that?
How about that? Kings basketball is back. So, and guys are starting to trickle into town. Come back, get back into their workouts. Coaches held a little coaching retreat up in Tahoe this past weekend. So guys are locking in now.
Some, not shuffling, but some reorganization of the coaching staff has gone on as well.
Yeah. You got some new faces, some old faces as well. Of big note is, our guy Jay Triano being elevated to associate head coach, basically the same position that Jordy Nelson, Jordy Fernandez held last season. Jawad Williams, the pride of the University of North Carolina, elevated as well. My boy Chuck Allen promoted. And you also got a couple of new faces also. Ricardo Foyce, pronunciation, excuse me on that, and Jim Moran, an assistant coach. So you got some new faces on this Kings bench.
I know we did our show from the arena the day that DeMar DeRozan was introduced. And it's funny that he talks there to Paul George about the beam, because he kept talking about that the day of his introductory press conference. Like the beam, like the beam. That really made an impression on him. And it's amazing how many other players around the league, even players that, don't want to come here or are not free agents, everyone that really had an impression on players around the league. The whole
Yeah. And, whether you're a fan of it or you want the Kings to lose because of the beam, like it motivates players, the fact that Paul George just said they got a movement going on out there, it leads me to believe, all right, players are taking notice. And it's one of those things, if you're an opponent, you hate to see it. But if you're on the squad, it's like, it's a thing. And I'll never forget, down in Los Angeles, down at crypto.com, where there was, chance of light the beam, like to see that thing going on the road, that movement on the road, it's huge. It's incredible. Yeah.
Now I know that Jay Crowder is supposed to work out with the team according to Sean Cunningham, and I don't think Jay Crowder is going to make a difference between, he's not going to be worth 5 wins or anything, but I really don't see, unless he just can't play anymore, which as far as we know he can, but other than that, I don't see any reason why the Kings wouldn't sign him.
Right. Why not? Right. A veteran, a guy that can knock down threes, a guy that, provides toughness. The only question mark I would have is making sure Jay understands his role. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not going to come in and play, expect 20-something minutes a game.
Because he has had issues with other teams.
Exactly.
Phoenix, who was unhappy with something.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he has to be clear on what he's being brought here for. Might be some nights, Jay, you don't get any run. Like, that has to be explicitly, talk to him about.
Yeah, and he may say, I'm better than those guys. I don't want to do that. Yeah.
Right.
That won't fit. No. Otherwise, I don't see why you wouldn't bring him in.
Right. Why? I mean, he's a veteran. He's a dog, if you will, a guy that, plays and walks around with a chip on his shoulder. I would love to have Jay here.
I happened to see, was it ESPN or Sports Illustrated? There was somebody did a list of those with the most to prove in the NBA this year. Mostly it was coaches, I think, but they had Mike Brown was on the list. What do you think of that notion that Mike Brown is among the coaches with the most to prove in the NBA this year?
I disagree with that. ESPN I disagree with that. I don't think Mike has anything to prove. I guess if you want to say 2 years ago was a fluke, okay, but they won 48 games his first year, 46 his second year. Like,
that's pretty much proven.
That's proven, right? It'd be different if he had 48 and 34 or something. Like, the fact that he had 46 last year, given the injuries, how much more difficult the West is, Mike Brown doesn't need to prove anything.
I do think the whole organization, not just Mike, not just De'Aaron Fox, everybody has something to prove this year. I do feel that. And that's why there's so much excitement. Everyone feels it, that they have potential to show that, all right, it's like in anything. Being good at something is fairly easy, but going from good to really good, excellent is hard.
Right.
They've been a pretty good team the last 2 years. Like, wow, look at that. All right. Can you get better than that? That's not easy, and that's where it is right now.
Sort of like golf, right? To go from
great example.
a 18 handicap to a 12 or a 10 is easy, but to go from 8 to a 2 handy, like,
exactly,
it's tough.
And that's where they are right now.
Right, exactly. It's one thing to just make the playoffs.
But that's not all just on him.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's on the players, on the health, on the competition as well. And I know for a fact last year was a disappointing season, and I got a feeling that, the first year under Mike Brown, it was magical. Everything was flying high. Everything was roses. Last year, they sort of came crashing back down to earth. Now I think this team will sort of level out emotionally in the way they play. They know who they are, and I'm expecting a leap this year in year 3.
The consensus, at least nationally, seems to be that the Kings are trying to be more like what they were 2 years ago than last year. Do you think that's accurate?
In what way?
They're going all in on offense now, like they did 2 years ago. The offense was the best in the league.
Yeah, I guess. You could say that because they haven't made any real defensive acquisitions, really. I don't know if McDaniels might be one. But yeah, DeMar is an elite offensive player. And I do think, we talk so much about, where their defensive rating was. They were a top 15 defense. Like, they made the improvement defensively. It's just we didn't expect the offense to fall. So if they come in with a top 5 defense and a 13th or 14th rank. I mean, a top 5 offense and a 13th or 14th ranked defense. That's pretty damn good. You're going to win a lot of games.
Yeah, I don't agree with the assumption that, well, they don't care about defense anymore. They made strides last year, and I think those strides were crucial in them winning as many games as they did.
Yeah.
The offense has to get better. It doesn't mean that they're sacrificing defense to do that.
Yeah, and I think their belief is, at minimum, their defense should be exactly where it was at the end of last season, like if not improved. So to your point, there's no way Mike Brown will ever say, just forget about defense.
Right.
We're going on. That's just not in his DNA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know that and I think Windhorst made this point. There were times 2 years ago where, Mike Brown had to be saying, what are we doing? Look how many points we're getting. I know we're winning, but what are we doing here?
Driving him crazy, I would imagine. Yeah.
Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz for September 10th is coming up. Before we get to that, thank you, Jay, for the reminder. This weekend, experience a golf tournament as refined as you are. Wine Country becomes the ultimate golf destination once again as the PGA returns for the coveted Pro Court Championship. We're looking for lucky caller number. What do you think?
3. I'm going to be nice, quick, and easy.
If you gave a higher number, that would be more work for Jay and less time to prepare.
No, I want Jay fully ready for this.
All right. Lucky caller number 3, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. To score our pair of passes to check out the Pro Court Championship Sunday at the Silverado Resort. For more information, visit SactownSports.com.
They got a movement over there for sure.
It's not hard to be a mom. It's hard to be a good mom. It's easy to be a bad mom. That's so easy. But to be a good mom is hard. To be a bad mom, that's as easy as being a great dad. That's...
Nikki Glazer, Alive and Unwell Tour. Friday, September 20th. The venue at Thunder Valley. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. She's alive and unwell. Don't miss Nikki Glazer.
Thank you. Good night.
Even in a broken Washington, one person delivers results. Our Congressman Kevin Kiley. Working across party lines, Kevin Kiley has helped pass bipartisan bills to lower prices for gas, groceries, and utilities, provide tax relief for the victims of recent wildfires and storms, and to protect Lake Tahoe today and for future generations. Kiley has secured millions of federal dollars to ease traffic on our roads, expand our water supply, and protect our homes and communities from wildfires. And because he believes public safety comes first, Kevin Kiley is working to crack down on repeat offenders, retail thieves, and fentanyl dealers who prey on our youth. Kevin Kiley is always ready to work across party lines to get things done, and never afraid to take on the establishment in Washington or Sacramento when that's what's needed to protect our quality of life. Delivering results. That's Kevin Kiley. Let's keep him working for us.
I'm Kevin Kiley, and I approve this message. Paid for by Kevin Kiley for Congress.
For most of the people that walk in our store, it's been an ongoing, nonstop issue, and they're finally walking into the Good Feet store. Okay, the guy that came into my store last year that has had plantar fasciitis for 30 years. I looked at him, I said, are you kidding me? I've been here for 14. Where have you been? I helped relieve a problem that's plagued him for 30 years. I mean, how do you not go home and talk about that?
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140
or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Pardon me, miss. Let's see how the chat is feeling about this matchup today. Whitey's Wayback quiz coming up in just a moment. Chad Clark says, I got Kyle today. Tin says, I have Sac's own Jay. Pompeo, Jay all the way, all caps. Jay all the way.
Unbelievable.
Tony Ray Harvey weighs in, says they got a movement over there for sure. Let's see. Chad Clark says, I feel like Jay gets lucky most of the time.
Yeah, Chad's about right. Chad's about right. You know, Jay probably back there looking things up as we speak.
Jay's working feverishly right now.
Is he?
He's taking care of our
winner. Oh, yeah. He's on the contest.
Yeah,
he's
working
on the contest.
Pro Court Championship. So we'll need just a second.
Where's that one at again? That's up in Tahoe? Silverado. Yeah. Dang, I'm missing it. I'm going out of town this week. So
quick story. I actually was a caddy once they used to have the Kaiser Invitational, I think they called it, Silverado PGA Tour event. One of my buddies, Donnie Tronis, who's now in Fairfield, he says, hey, let's go on up there and, you get paid to be a caddy. And I said, I've never been a caddy. I've never even played golf. He goes, it's all right. So you go out there and there's this big tent with all these young kids and there's a lottery. You pick a number and they go, all right, here are the winners. You will get a bag today. And I won. I had no idea what I was doing. I was the worst caddy ever.
Was this during the Pro-Am or the actual? Okay.
Yes, it was during the Pro-Am. So I stood in the wrong place when people were putting.
Oh, man.
Guy would hit a shot and I would just watch it. And
right.
I didn't know. And I didn't know I did a bad job till at the end. Joe Cox, the great Joe Cox, who used to be at 12 Bridges. I don't know where he is now. He goes, well, how big of a tip did you get? And I said, I didn't get a tip. He goes,
whoa, you were that bad.
You must have been bad. I was like,
right.
I don't know.
Usually you're supposed to clean up on that, right?
I had no idea what I was doing. I should not have been out there.
Damn.
I was the worst caddy ever.
Yeah. So you actually carried the bag and everything, huh?
Did I make the guy?
Right. I don't know why you didn't get it.
I was in the 9th grade, so I was young.
You're a young pup. Okay.
Yeah.
All
but
right.
I shouldn't have been out there, but I didn't realize that. But looking back, I was like, oh man.
Was it a good experience for you? Despite not getting tipped, were you like, oh, this is pretty cool?
Well, it was kind of cool because my dad said, if you're doing that, you don't have to go to school that day. You're going to learn more. He felt.
All
yeah.
right.
But what I learned was, you got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, you got to. Do
some research.
Standing in the putting line and everything.
Oh, yeah, stuff like that. I mean, I think
man, right.
I'm going to ask somebody, hey, is that guy the pro? And it was like, yes, he's the pro. You should know that. Yeah.
Oh, that's
so that was pretty bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's my memories of Silverado.
Yeah, Jay
is ready to roll. Jay, what do you think of the comments from
man, what these busters talking about? Folks getting lucky, man.
My boy Chad Clark looking out for me.
Chad Clark must be a cousin, bro. Talking about getting lucky, bro. Where Chad Clark in? Chime in. Let's go.
I have to admit, I don't remember who won the last match.
That was me. Stop playing around,
Jay,
man. I'm out
do
there
that.
sweeping.
Don't do that. Nah, I don't. Honestly, I don't remember.
Every other Wednesday and Thursday, you must move your car to the other side of the street because I'm street sweeping.
Go ahead. I'll give it to Jay.
I'm not giving it to me.
No,
I ran away with this
I think I won with. I think I won.
No. I
last time.
spanked that tail.
All right. So Whitey's Wayback machine quiz.
They've been waiting all day for
September
Clark, man.
Here's what we have today. The year's 1937. We have 1948. We have Name the Year, 89, another 89, and 2016. So I think we got a lot of closest twos today. Jay, you're up first. 37, 48, Name the Year, 89, 89, 2016.
1948.
1948. Born on this date. Ooh. It's a closest two. Do you want him to go first?
Of course I want Chad Clark's favorite to go first.
All right. Kyle Draper, born on this date, NBA Hall of Famer Bob Lanier.
Ooh, I love Bob Lanier. Let's go.
Good one.
His feet were so large, his shoes are in the Hall of Fame. What size did he wear? The shoe company said it was the biggest they'd ever made, but I don't think it's a
24.
24, Jay?
23 is under that.
It's actually 22.
Yeah.
Really?
Size 22.
What does Shaq wear?
21.
I thought Shaq's 23.
It was 21, 22,
okay.
right?
All right.
Yeah. I'm not saying he had the biggest shoes ever, but they were big.
At that time.
Oh, at that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So that's one for Jay. Kyle Draper, you're up.
All right. What's the date?
37. Name the year. 89, 2016.
89.
1989. No, I'll just go with the first one.
Which one?
You got,
Closest 2, or do you want multiple choice?
Closest 2.
Closest 2. Here we go. You want Jay to go first?
Yeah.
All right, Jay. This date, 1989, 5 days after homering for the Yankees, Deion Sanders returns a punt for a touchdown for the first time in his NFL career.
Yeah.
How long was the return?
I believe it was 78 yards.
Kyle Draper?
Say the question again, please.
5 days after homering for the Yankees, Deion Sanders returns a punt for a touchdown for the first time in his NFL career. How long is the return?
He had that Jerry curl.
Chase is 78 yards.
That's a good one. I'm going to go 77, though.
68. 68 yards.
Ah, Jay.
Let's go.
Jerry curl got loose.
We tied, baby.
Dang.
That sounds like one that you kind of had in there. But
I started to go 60s, but I was like, I got to push it a little bit.
Yeah.
He had that red helmet on.
Yeah. 37. Name of the year, 89, 2016.
1937.
1937. The Rams play and lose their first game. In what city are they based in 1937?
Ooh.
Los Angeles, Cleveland, Rochester.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a tough
one.
1937. Rams play and lose their first game.
Okay.
In what city are they based?
Rochester.
Rochester's not correct. Kyle Draper, chance to steal.
What are the
Rams play and lose their first game. In what city are they based? Los Angeles, Cleveland.
I'm going to go
for the lead.
Cleveland.
Cleveland Rams is correct.
Yeah.
It was one of the 2. It wasn't L.A. 1937.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to guess Rochester also.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got that.
Cleveland Rams. So Draper with the lead 2-1. And Kyle Draper, you're up. Name the year, 89, 2016.
2016.
2016. It's closest to.
Jay first.
Hey, Jay.
Here we go.
This date, 2016, at Bristol Motor Speedway.
He don't know nothing about NASCAR.
Crazy. I used to work at Fox.
Tennessee and Virginia Tech play before the largest paid football crowd ever.
Yeah.
What was the official attendance for the game?
At that time, I'm going to say what year? 2018, right?
2016.
2016. All right, I'm doing little calculations because Michigan broke a couple years
come
ago.
on, Jay.
Yeah, I'm going 116. I'm going to go 107.
107,000?
Yes.
Okay.
K.
Grapes?
108,000.
Answer
Bam!
156,990.
3-1, Jay.
All right, Jay, you're running out of room here, but you're still in this.
Michigan broke it last year. It was like 113 at the big house.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
But I didn't calculate the speedway.
Bristol Motor Speedway. Yeah. So, Kyle Draper, you can win it right here, right?
Yeah, I'm up 3-1, right?
Yeah,
It's Jay's
3-1.
pick.
It's me. Don't try to send it over there to him.
All right, Jay, you got name the year. You got 1989.
89.
1989.
Walt Weiss.
All right.
Walt Weiss.
Who runs for 106 yards versus the 49ers to become the first player to rush for 10,000 career yards in only 91 games? Eric Dickerson, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders.
Eric Dickerson.
He's got it.
Okay.
Still in the game.
3-2.
3-2.
What time we out, Jay?
56-15.
We got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Is this the last one?
Out of here.
I know.
Yeah.
Slimer. I'm going to start calling you Slimer.
Name the year. You know
This
the way
is
it
it.
works.
Yeah.
I read you the question. You can, after you hear it, decide
And then
who
who's
goes
ever
first.
closest to?
Yeah, but you can hear it and then decide. Yeah. Abibi Bikila of Ethiopia wins the marathon in record time barefoot for Africa's first gold medal ever. Pardon me. What year? You
What
wanna go
marathon?
first?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we know what marathon this is?
It's the Olympic marathon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
Olympics.
gotcha,
Olympic
okay.
marathon.
Jay can go first.
Yeah. For Africa's first gold medal ever at the Olympics.
Give it to me one more time.
Abibi Bikila of Ethiopia wins the marathon in record time barefoot for Africa's first gold medal ever.
In the Olympics?
Yeah.
I
don't want to tell you where because
yeah. I'm going 1976.
1976. Kyle Draper.
So he is not correct, right? He is not correct.
He's not correct.
Can you read that again, please?
Abibi Bikila of Ethiopia wins the marathon in record time barefoot for Africa's first gold medal ever?
Oh, I just threw it off. I just thought about something.
I'm going to go.
Are we going to overtime? Or
19.
Strape's going to win it.
80.
It was the Rome Games in 1960.
Something, right? Yeah.
60.
Okay. Let's go, baby.
Overtime. No, we got to
go. We got to go.
We got to go. Tie game.
Tie
See you
game.
tomorrow, Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go.